All right. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Ned Ghost Rider broadcast. I'm Ned Ghost Rider. Most people call me Ghost. Welcome in, everybody. It is Sunday, June 21st, 2026. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to everyone. Orange as hell. Are you talking about my shirt or me? It's also red. Why do we go through this every time I wear a red shirt? Why do we do this? White balance is off. It's not off. It's not off. The white balance is not off. All right, let's fucking go through this again like I always do. Let's go through this again like I always do. Chat, here's the color correction. Here's the not color correction. Do you see how my face is red? Do you see my face is red? But we need to put a color correction so that it looks kind of normal. Why do we do this every time I wear a red shirt? Also, this is shit that I expect Auto to do, not y'all. Sons of bitches. So you're just sunburnt? No, I'm not sunburnt. Oh my God. Literally go into the VODs. We literally talk about this all the time. For whatever fucking reason, the color makes my face super fucking red. Right? So this is without the filter. You see the face is super red? My face is not super red normally. Okay? So we have to do color correction, which is what we do here. Anyway, nice to see you all. It's been a couple days. I've been much happier these last couple days. I wonder what it was. Fucking assholes. Great way to start stream. Anyway, how's everybody's weekend? Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there. Happy not a Father's Day to all the not fathers out there. And happy future Father's Day for potential future fathers. But Cat, congratulations on the first, Keko on the second. Chat, I hope you understand I'm kidding when I start stream like that. Me when Ghost gets mad. I do it for entertainment, Cat. Happy not Father's Day to you, Ghost. Thank you. I do it as a joke, but it is annoying that we do this every time I wear red. Which is why I don't wear red. But I'm wearing my Phillies shirt because the Phillies scored 15 fucking runs last night. And my family was at the game. And they're currently winning. I don't know if the game's over yet. Yeah, they're up 4-2. Sorry, they're up by 4. So what did I do? I worked 2 rounds on Friday, 1 round yesterday, and then I immediately went to my friend's house where I did baseball stuff. And then after the baseball stuff, we cut up some stuff for his shelving for his containers in his garage. And then we did that shit. We did manly shit. We did manly shit on this Father's Day weekend. So, yesterday, they beat the Mets really good, according to Alice. Yeah, they beat the Mets really good is an understatement. The Phillies had scored 11 runs in the 3rd inning. I drove from Osaka to Hiroshima. It sucked. Is it because you weren't on a train? Is it because you weren't on a train, Keko? And you could have been on a train? Twitch has an upgradable badge you can get. Ends July 26th. Interesting. Yeah, so then I stayed at my friend's house last night, and I played the baseball today. That's about all you can say about that. We lost both our games today. We got kind of smashed. I had one play where I fielded the ball. I played second base because they brought in a 20-year-old Venezuelan to play for me, or to play shortstop. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think he did better than I would have done. And he was also playing kind of a lazy shortstop. And by lazy shortstop, I mean you're supposed to be at specific points of the field when certain things happen. And he just kind of stayed at short and second base and then didn't do the other stuff. So I was really annoyed. They're taking our jobs. Yeah, I knew that was... I knew I could have made that joke, but I'm not making that joke. I'm not making that joke in this current time of year. You got smashed, Lucky. Yeah, so the first game, I ended up catching immediately because our starting catcher popped his fucking knee his first at bat. So I threw the gear on and I caught most of the game. And then they put me at second base. And then the second game, I played second base, right field, third base. And I told them to move me down in the lineup because I continue to not hit well. I'm not seeing the ball well. I struck out twice the first game. Yeah, I struck out twice the first game. First one was swinging. Second one was looking. And then I hit a weak pop-up, I think. Yeah, I hit a weak pop-up because I was a little out in front. And then the second game... What did I do? The second game I got on base because there was an error. And then I ended up sliding into the shortstop hard. Which is like one of the fun things I like to do. Slid into second, and the shortstop was standing on the bag. So it's called taking them out so they don't turn to double play. So I slid into second hard and broke it up. And then the second at bat, I kind of just threw my hands at it because we had 2 strikes. And it was right to the center fielder. Yeah, whole lot of nothing. Whole lot of nothing happened. And I'm kind of like perturbed. Ghost slid into the shortstop. Yes. I'm kind of perturbed at myself. Because I don't have stretches like this where I don't hit well. It doesn't help I'm playing every other week after not practicing for months. So that's not helping things. I also don't have games for another 2 weeks. So I don't know if this is going to get better. But I'm going to keep trying to get better. And I'm just kind of annoyed that I worked so hard with the fielding. Oh, the ball, the play that I fielded it fine, and then I made the throw, and the first baseman should have caught it, but he didn't catch it. And then catcher, I had a guy dead to rights. I threw it behind him at first base, and he was dead to rights, and there was a throw that got away. And then I went to tag a guy out. The ball was being thrown in, and I was set up at the plate to catch the ball. And as soon as the ball got to my glove, I dove across to tag the guy. And the ball, it's called a snow cone. It's called a snow cone. So you have your glove here. So if the ball's sitting at the top of the glove, it's called a snow cone. So the ball had gotten to that point in the glove, and I went for the tag. And then the force that I made the tag with, the ball popped out. So the guy was safe. So I was pretty pissed at myself for that. This is your vision of bombing? No. No, 3 strikeout game with multiple errors would be bombing. Okay, go. Or are you saying me bombing on stream, talking to you about sports because my community doesn't give a fuck about sports? But yeah. I don't know. I felt like my timing was better. I started hitting the ball better with the barrel of the bat, so we'll see. The first thing? Yeah, my version of bombing would be striking out 3 times in a game and having multiple errors and literally costing the team game. But that did not happen. That also didn't happen 2 weeks ago. But it was pretty close. Anyway, so yeah, that's what happened for my weekend. I'm back at work tomorrow. Back at work tomorrow with the same group. I think the other problem is I wasn't using the C word. Trigger warning. I'm going to say the C word because I'm quoting them. And I also, as all of you know, I would like us to be able to say the C word regularly like Aussies and English do. But I was joking with them that I was going to be throwing around cunt the whole time during the games today, and I did not do it. So maybe that's why I didn't play well. And I needed to release the power of cunt. I needed to be cunt. But yeah. All right, chat. Also, I feel like I have a good hair day today. Serve cunt. Hell yes. Queen Slate. Yeah. I feel like I have a good hair day today. I feel like I got it in a good spot. I feel like it looks good. And if y'all tell me it doesn't look good, go fuck yourselves. Also, my allergies go away most of the day and then come back at the end of the day. I don't understand how it works. Make it make sense. Looks great, Ghosty. Thank you, Cap. I'm so glad that I have one supportive chatter in here. But yeah. So, plan tonight is to finish Suzerain. Yeah, it just happened. I got a bloody nose from blowing my nose. Class. Magic, it looks great. Oh, I'm so sick of these allergies. But yeah, so let me get Suzerain up after I was so rudely interrupted by my nose. Also, House of Dragons came out today. And there was also a new episode of One Piece, which I haven't seen yet. I plan to watch tonight. Damn it! Ozzy says good night. Good night, Ozzy. Give me a second, chat. Let me get this stopped. Also, I went BRB screen because I think there's like US stuff about blood. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Just stuff a piece of paper towel up your nose. Yeah, that would be really good, Bite Sync, considering I'm literally on camera. That's... If I was not streaming, maybe. But... But yeah, I'm not doing that on stream. Good thing camera doesn't have issues with red. True. True. Also, sorry for any of y'all that don't like the sight of blood. It just kind of happened. Should be good now, though. Feels like it's better. All right, let me get the game going now. Appreciate y'all being patient with me. Let me get the game going. Last time y'all were here, we were about to start the re-election campaign for Anton Rain. We are being sabotaged by people that don't agree with us, but the people, we are taking care of the fucking people, chat. We're taking care of the people because that's all that matters. We have provided them healthcare. We have done equal education for boys and girls. What else have we done? We joined the CSP, Quintana something pact, which is basically countries that are aligned with United Quintana, who are the equivalent of China basically in the game. Thank you, Bite Sync. Yeah. So let's see if we can pull this out of our ass and somehow win the fucking election. Let's see if we can do it, chat. I got the chapstick ready to go. So when my mouth dries out after all the goddamn fucking reading, Oh, also Donald Trump's pool is green and everybody's freaking out. Well, not everybody, but Trump is freaking the fuck out. So much so that he's claimed vandalism. He claimed that they cut a 250-foot section of the reflection pool, when in reality, it's just the hydrogen peroxide they put into the water to try to get the algae out. An Olympian was arrested for vandalism when all the Olympian did was literally just look at the blue thing peeling from the bottom. He claims that there's no algae in the water and it's going to be fixed shortly. So, yeah. Antifa's fault. Pond is gross. Not yet. They haven't blamed Antifa yet. Who knew if you put paint thinner in a newly painted paint, the paint would thin? Yeah. Who would have thunk it? Trump is claiming that there's dozens of arrests for vandalism. When in reality, it's just fucking nature. It's just nature happening. The vandals are the fucking workers that were told to fucking put hydrogen peroxide in there. Schedule for Alliance of Nations sessions. We have received the schedule for the upcoming Alliance of Nations sessions. According to the date outlined, Suzerain 1 is being prepared to fly. This Constantinium Karut, Minister of Foreign Affairs David Wishke, will be attending the session as well as accompanying Mr. President on the flight. Oh, we're going to the Alliance of Nations. We're copping Champions Cup Road to Maroon Stadium. Today, management of FC Enrica has invited me to attend a pivotal football match. At Lucian's urging, I accepted. The team was representing Switzerland in the international arena. According to Lucian, it would have been an unpresidential not to put in an appearance. FC Enrica was finally in the Mercopping Champions Cup, the most prestigious football tournament in the world. For the first time ever, a Swedish team had managed to qualify for the knockout phase. Millions of Swedish people were waiting to watch FC Enrica compete against the legendary Rizian team, Real Montaclar. Despite all odds being stacked against them, the mood was full of hope. A win today would bring Enrica to the quarterfinal, a feat that no Swedish team had ever managed to achieve. Wait, do my choices determine if Enrica wins? That'd be crazy. And of course, all presidents of Switzerland, current and former, were invited to watch the historic competition. Oh, fucking great. CSP's shadow Switzerland's energy market navigates new currents. World leaders gather at Alliance of Nations. Okay, fine. I was told that both Tarquin Sol and Ewald Alfonso would be joining me in the lounge reserved for us. How are you feeling, sir? I'm fine, Lucian. Thank you. Just a little word. Can't believe Peter's not here to see this. For those that don't know, Peter was my vice president who was sleeping with my secretary, who was actually a spy. So we had him take the fall because it was his fault, because he didn't do a background check on her. And he was sleeping with her, and he was the leak. And then he ended up jumping off a bridge. So I'm going to say I can't believe Peter's not here to see this. Tragedy, sir. Mr. Vectorn did excel at making public appearances. If nothing else, we made our way towards the Maroon Stadium. The arena was situated in one of the most crowded quarters of Enrica, surrounded by dense urban development. As we wound our way through the streets, I noticed the name of Tarquin Sol everywhere since I'd last been here. Markets, restaurants, and even pubs named after the colonel had all popped up. Why is Enrica so crazy about Sol all of a sudden? Am I imagining things, or do we just pass a pub called Alco Sol? Afraid we did, sir. I've heard as part of an ad campaign for Enrica, an attempt to draw tourists, or at least soulless ones, to the city. Sol's legacy still lives on for millions, after all. Lucian's pocket radio crackled, and after responding, he turned to me. So the security gave us the clear and informed us that Tarquin Sol had already arrived at the lounge. Good luck. I know he's quite the imposing presence. Please follow the guards to the top floor. You'll be seated in the VIP lounge. Are you sure you can't join me? Any advice before I leave? There's a pity. You know the guests of honor more than I do, sir. If all else fails, just focus on the match. It shouldn't be difficult. Even just the fact that you are here will surely help with the campaign image. Quite frankly, the libs are vandals, and they are the worst vandals. We are the best. This is the best, and they shouldn't even be able to vandalize such great and sacred holy land. But they have the power of Satan and the transgender Antifers. See, you gotta say Antifers. On their side, we will fix this, and they will be held responsible. Cat, that's a solid copy pasta. I'm pinning that. I'm pinning it. I'm pinning that message. Even just the fact that you're here Surely help with our campaign image. Follow the security. I hope so, Lucian. Sure. My thoughts exactly. I just hope FC Gelsword fans don't hold it against me. Hope so, Lucian. Follow the security. We entered beneath a giant sign read, "Welcome to the Hall of Martyrs." Quarter inside were painted almost completely maroon, adorning them with various depictions of Swordfish Goat and numerous jerseys, awards, and team photographs. On our way up, I was greeted by the president of the club. Beaming with pride, he immediately shook my hand. Behind him, Mayor Curtin Lest and Gus Manger were waiting to greet me as well. All of them had FC Enrica pins attached to their collars. Welcome to Enrica, Mr. President. You are always welcome in Enrica, and it's great to see you show your support in person. Thanks for being here. This match means a lot for all of us Enricans. And all of Swordland, never before has a Swordfish team reached this stage in the Mercapin Cup. It's great to be here in Enrica. I have high hopes today. This is a big achievement for Swordfish football. Honestly, I don't know much about football. I'm here for players and my country. High hopes today is a big achievement for Swordfish football. Football is of rapidly expanding importance in Swordland and beyond. It's good to see the opportunity in it. President of the club walked in, handed his gift bags full of FC Enrica merchandise, and gave a speech stressing the importance of today's match. After delivering his best wishes, he kindly pointed us towards the lounge, which was surrounded by heavily armed men. Once I finally found myself inside, I was greeted by an amazing view of the entire pitch through floor-to-ceiling windows. Tarkin Sol was already seated on the leather sofa, casting his hawk-like gaze out on the field. He did not react when I entered. So what do we owe the pleasure, Colonel? It's good to see you here, Mr. Sol. We seem to be crossing each other's paths on the oddest occasions. Are you going to pretend I'm not here? Ugh. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be cordial. So what do we owe the pleasure, Colonel? Tarkin Sol leaned on his cane, turned his head to look at me. Mr. Rain, I didn't hear you come in. He smiled at me and gestured at the vacant spot beside him. Please join me. I approached the sofa and sat next to him. I didn't expect you to show up today. It is heartening to see that you're a supporter of FC Enrica in sort of sports. Say the same for you, Mr. Sol. I thought you returned to your island. What are you still doing around? I didn't know you were a football fan. I'm going to say that. I can say the same for you, Mr. Sol. Corner of his mask curled up mercilessly. Tell me. Is everything faring well after the defeat of your reforms, Mr. Rain? Yes, you won. No need to rub in my face, Colonel. I may not have changed the Constitution, but I've done my best to reform Swordland in my own way. Nothing for you to worry about, Mr. Sol. I'll admit the term could have gone better. Oh, I kind of want to fucking shit on this dude. I'm going to say that. I may not have changed the Constitution, but I've done my best to reform Swordland in my own way. So I've seen, but at what expense? He sighed. Despite all the warning signs, you adamantly followed your own pig-headed vision for Swordland. You continued on the path that Ewald Alfonso... No, I didn't! Ewald Alfonso literally fucking privatized everything. I did the opposite of him. I followed you. Oh, God. Fuck this guy. Start obliterating our economy and throwing the nation in a quagmire of poverty and depression. You are turning Swordland into a puppet for the superpowers to play with. I never would have thought I'd live to see Swordland infected by Malinovism. Brother, your policies were Malinovism. Especially at the invitation of the Swordfish president. I'm warning you, Anton, the path you Trojan will only bring about exploitation and abuse. I didn't come here to listen to your criticism. My path is my own to tread. You have no influence over my presidency, Colonel. I understand your concerns, sir, but I beg to differ. No superpower can match the amount of abuse you've already inflicted on this nation. Ooh. All right, I'm going to say my path is on my own. You have no influence over my presidency, Colonel. Say what you will, deep down inside, you know I'm right. Talking past me, not to me. You're wrong. You know what? I need a drink. If you don't mind, Colonel, I'd prefer to watch a match in silence. You're talking past me, not to me. You don't know how to listen? I'm willing to listen. I respect you, Colonel. I still wish the feeling was mutual. If you don't mind, Colonel, I'd prefer... I'm going to say, I respect you, Colonel. I wish the feeling was mutual. Sudden burst of cheering from the stadium made both of us look out the window. The players had begun walking on the field. Look, Mr. Rain, it's starting. Pointing directly to a group of FC Enrica fans who stood up holding colored boards, carrying a massive illustration of Tarquin Sol. Under the portrait, the bottom row of boards slowly revealed the words, "Welcome home, Colonel." Keep watching. I forgot that you're from Enrica. I kept watching the same. As if plastering my name everywhere in the city wasn't enough, I suppose I'm flattered. Another group of fans raised their boards to reveal a silhouette of the famous Hall of Warriors. A Marquian-era architectural ruin in Enrica with Tarquin Sol in front of it. As the players of Real Monteclar lined up in the middle of the field, FC Enrica fans started chanting, "We'll eat you whole for Colonel Sol." Right after the referee signaled the start of the match, the door behind us closed with a thud. Well, Colonel, how do you feel about being Enrica's new poster boy? It looks like it's working well for the city. And if you move back home, I'm sure you get free meals and drinks everywhere you went. Ewald Alfonso quickly walked up to the sofa, shook our hands, and sat next to us, smiling as he did so. You know, I never had a strong connection to this place, Mr. Les. Should have asked my permission before using my name to market the city. Oh, it's actually Gus Manger's idea? Why am I not surprised? He's full of ideas. You're Mr. Manger. Except when it comes to the job he's actually supposed to be doing. No need to be so dismissive. Gus has proven himself time and again. His work rejuvenated Swordfish Industries, and without him, Enrica wouldn't be the city it is today. I must say, Gus has been very valuable minister in my cabinet. Honestly, working with Gus has been nothing but a disaster. I don't want to say this because they're going to throw it in my face I didn't listen to him. Fuck it, I'll say this. Let's say Gus has been a valuable member of my cabinet. Just what we need, another president enthralled to Mr. Manger gives rich quick schemes. You say that, Mr. Soul, but Mr. Manger is a respectable professional who actually loves his country? Yeah. More like an errand boy doing the bidding of those whose line his pockets. Oh my God, Soul is burning! I don't intend to take on the role of his personal spokesman, you know. I had a feeling that despite all of our conversations, you never truly grasped how much Gassam meant to me or Sorlin. But I hope you see how much damage you've done to our country's energy industry. You cannot lay your own failures at the feet of the state, Alfonso. Bam! I admit it, a man with your profit-focused mentality should have never been given the keys for such a vital sector, let alone the presidency. Ewald's upper lip curled. Mr. Soul's right, you're always looking for someone else to blame Ewald. What's done is done, and let's not sit there starting an argument. Don't be so harsh on him. I should have seen this coming. No, I'm going to agree with Mr. Soul. Mr. Soul is right, you're always looking for someone else to blame Ewald. Gentlemen, please, let's not go that far. Just then, FC Enrique's star midfielder made a breakaway down the field. The crowd erupted in cheers, and the ball was passed from player to player, each touch bringing it closer to the goal. Look, we're going to score. Too predictable, they won't make it past the other team's defense. As if on cue, Real Monteclar's defense made a crucial block, sending the ball back down the field. Are you always this negative, Mr. Scholl? With your strategy skills, you should be a football coach, Colonel. Are you a Real Monteclar supporter, Colonel? I get it next time. Have some faith on our team. Faith alone does not suffice. Alfonso turned to me. How about you, Mr. Rain? It's been a while since we last met. Is everything going well at the palace? Everything's fine, thank you. Honestly, I'm worried the country is showing signs of instability. It'd be a lie if I said it's been great. Yeah, I'm going to say this. Because I don't want to fucking say everything's great. I completely understand what you mean. Suddenly, a huge roar shook the stadium and crowd was in frenzy as FC Enrica finally got the ball past the dominating Rizian defenders. Considering that Swordsland is now in full-on economic crisis, you seem too composed and calm, Mr. Rain. That's because it's going to come back, baby. Well, as a president, I have to be. You know how it is. Don't worry, it's under control. Everything will fall into place soon. What would you have me do? There's nothing I do about anything anymore. I didn't start this mess. Unlike you, I did everything in my power to fix the situation. Boom! Dropping the mic! All right, Tark and Soul laugh. And just then, Monteclair midfielders executed an incredibly fast counterattack, scoring a goal that put them ahead in just a few seconds. Swordfish side of the stadium fell completely silent. It was bad luck getting a top-tier Rizian team as their opponent. I still applaud our guys for giving their best. Not even FC Gelsword has ever come this far in an international tournament. Why so bleak? It's not even halftime yet. Enrique still come on top. This football is like politics. Sometimes it's all about luck. Honestly, I don't really care about any of this. Why are you changing the topic? I'm just gonna keep daggering him. Don't expect that to make sense for him. You are talking to Ewald Alfonso? Sure, I'll be a punching bag for both of you today. Dude, Soul and I are bonding? We're bonding? Me and the founder of the country are bonding? Okay. All I know is they could be heard from the stadium was shouting from Rizzi inside Monteclar. All eyes were glued on the scoreboard as a new score appeared. Enrica 0, Monteclar 1. From that moment on, we turned our complete attention to the match in front of us. The Rizian players kept dominating the field. The referee blew the whistle. It was halftime. That was rough. We heard a noise from above us. A Zeppelin was flying over the stadium with a giant poster hanging beneath it. I noticed it was an advertisement for the Alfonso Foundation. At the center of the poster stood Ewald Alfonso, portrayed with a warm smile and a twinkle in his eye. Crafty J, welcome in. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in. Hello. Hello, Crafty J. Welcome in. For those that don't know who I am, I'm Ned Ghost Rider. Most people call me Ghost. I'm a variety gamer. I play a bunch of different games. I also do react content to YouTube videos and news and politics and current events. Hopefully you stick around. Hopefully you enjoy the stream. If you have to raid and run, I understand. But hopefully we'll see you in the future. Crafty J, how was your stream? How's the stream? Also, thank you for the follow. We have a Wooden Roller Coaster 1 looks too intense for me. Based. Luna Lurks. Thank you for the follow. But I hope you had a good stream. Roller Coaster Tycoon. Yeah, we did that. We did that back in the day. We did that a few months ago. That's one of my favorite games growing up. Stream good. Head is not. I am feeling dizzy. Okay, I'm sorry, Crafty J, but I hope that that you get well soon. God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, chat. It's been a long day for me in the sun. Not away with words right now. But Crafty J, thank you so much for the raid. And I do hope that you recover from whatever headache that ails you. But thank you. Anyway, we're currently playing Suzerain. Right, normally stream pinball. Doing some RCT was fun and good. Oh, okay. Is it online pinball? Is it online pinball? Or is it the pinball that comes with the PCs? Because that would probably be fun to play. But anyway, chat, give Crafty J a follow and pop into their stream. Anyway, we are currently playing a game called Suzerain. I became president of a country called Swordland. I became president of a country called Swordland. And I've hit blocks all along the way of me trying to do the right thing.
Wow.
And now I'm going for re-election and it's not going well. Virtual pinball through Pinball FX on Steam. My game's Twilight Zone. Okay. Jay's very new to streaming, so I help him do things. Oh, cool. Cool. Well, thank you for the raid. That would explain where you came from. But I'm sure Ari had nothing to do with this. But Ari's a good person to go to. They do a good job with their stream. They are talented with their artwork. And Ari also knows any of us to help out if they have any questions. No influence from Ari whatsoever. Yeah. Yeah, Ari asked me something the other day. I think it was about IRL mics and stuff, if I remember correctly. But anyway, we're currently at a soccer game with the previous presidents who fuck shit up, and I've been trying to fix. And then they also have been screwing me over. So, bro bought that model. Cool. I think it's significantly cheaper than when I bought it, too. In his outstretched hand, he held a whimsical compass glowing with a soft golden light. Surrounding him were people from all walks of life and cultures. Tagline written in elegant, uplifting typography was the prominent displayed at the bottom. Alfonso Foundation, bringing hope to those in need, one act of kindness at a time. Asking for donations at football matches. How does nonprofit even afford this ad? Based. I'm going to go lay down and not be dizzy. Have a good stream. Thank you so much, Jay. I appreciate the raid, and I hope you feel well. Hope you feel well soon. Hopefully we'll see you here in the future. Thank you. I'm doing my best to increase our exposure and to help the homeless of this country. This isn't some commercial advertisement. Just then, the speakers in the stadium started playing a sound recording in full volume. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you a message from Alfonso Foundation dedicated to spreading kindness and hope to the less fortunate. Picture a swordland where compassion shines brighter than the stars in the night sky, where the power of generosity uplifts those who need it most. The swordland can exist thanks to Alfonso Foundation. Brother, I'm literally doing that as president. This is bullshit. Led by charismatic and esteemed President Ewald Alfonso, this foundation is on a mission to make a difference in the lives of our fellow citizens, one act of kindness at a time. Call this kindness. Every Swordfish Wren you donate to the Alfonso Foundation helps us provide shelter, food, and a chance for a brighter future to those without a home, without hope. Homeless people are a policy failure. Thanks to the donations of President Ewald Alfonso and the esteemed figures like President Anton Rain, as well as thousands of Swordfish citizens, the Alfonso Foundation has already lifted thousands out of homeless. You too, Mr. Rain? I thought you would see through this scheme? Fuck. Once you join us in the Noble... I shouldn't have donated to him. Fuck. Noble endeavor, just call this number 1-600-ALFONSO. To make your contribution today, your support will help us extend a helping hand to those in need. The recording ended with a few seconds of upbeat, jazzy background music that slowly faded out. I appreciate the credit, but you didn't need to put my name in there. Good to see that you're at least helping the poor in some way. That's commendable. I'll be honest. I think I was a little distasteful. It's good to see you're at least helping the poor in some way. This is commendable. Oh. Yeah, I guess that's good because it's basically, thanks for the support. You're both. Wait, that wasn't support. That was a backhand. That was a backhanded comment. You had your whole term to plan affordable housing programs. Instead, you decided to pass the buck to Mr. Rain here. And now you're wasting your time on crap like that? Is this your way of personal redemption? Spending a few rens out of your billions portraying yourself as the savior? Unlike you, Mr. Soul, I'm not portraying myself as a hero. Here, I retired from politics just like you did, and I'm not using my clout to help the poor. And I'm now using my clout to help the poor. What's so wrong about this? You and I ever called myself a hero, you all? It was my supporters who portrayed me as one. Don't spin the truth. Maybe they didn't have any other choice back then. Use tax dollars instead of more donations from people that already pay taxes. No, people that don't pay taxes. Use tax dollars from the people that don't pay taxes. Maybe they didn't have any other choice back then. Is that even true, Mr. Soul? Are you really denying that you did nothing to construct a cult of personality? Nobody has any choice. There was no other option. Despite everything, we can't deny the millions of people who loved and respected Mr. Soul. That is a reality. Huh. All right, I'm going to kiss Soul's ass here. I'm not saying otherwise, but I must remind you, those are the same people also stood in the way of progress. Facts! Facts! Facts, chat! You're still sore about the party giving you a hard time after I left. Admit it, you all. You never could accept being a less popular leader. You hated living under the shadow of what I built. It is true, I did hate working inside your shadow empire, but I succeeded in dismantling a lot of those obstacles you laid out for me and opened the way for reforms, but you never let the party go free. So it was I who controlled each and every member. I was behind every problem you faced within USP. Do you really believe that? You're the founder of the party, Mr. Soul. Don't even try to deny your influence over it. I still remember how the party became divided after you stopped supporting me. It is on them for being blind to progress we were making. What do you mean Mr. Soul supported you after the Congress? Souls still make up a bulk of the USP today. Everybody is aware of your influence, Mr. Soul. Oh, we're hashing this out, Chad. We're hashing this out hard. Instead of blaming the party, why don't you take a look at yourselves? The same party has voted me out on their own volition and preference of the likes of you. According to you, their only correct decision must have been to elect you as leader, and the rest are completely wrong. Do you think everything is a problem that specifically created to block you? Take a look at yourself. You are not the personification of what you're trying to criticize. You have a point, Mr. Joel, but don't act like you're above us, all of us. That's an empty argument. The party and the government were in that state due to your actions over 20 years. It's getting out of hand. I think both of you should calm down. Oh, please. We know that you're still trying to pull the strings behind the scenes. Should I accuse him of that, or should I say... No, I'm going to say that. Correct, they built a republic within 2 decades in the harshest political climate, and they reached a state of being about able to elect and oust their own leaders. But what a disastrous state to be in. Suddenly, we turned our heads to the field as a massive roar shook the stadium. The second half was already in full swing, and Enrican players were aggressively attacking, weaving in and out of defenders with speed. Suddenly, the ball was passed to the famous shortest striker, Hawkins later, who was in front of the goal. I noticed Soul shifted in his seat. His gaze suddenly locked on the field. The Surge crowd went crazy as Lotto's powerful shot brought the ball to the back of the Rizian net. Yes! Ewald jumped from his seat. Suddenly, the cheering was interrupted by the linesman raising the flag, making an offside call. Bullshit, that wasn't offside. That referee is trying to sabotage us. He was clearly in front of the defenders when he received the ball. Do you think the Rizians could have bought the referees? To be fair, nobody here cares. Halt your endless bickering. The linesman made the right call. The angle was all wrong. A decision like that shouldn't be made without proper evaluation. What next? You're going to install cameras and analyze every position from different angles? The excitement in the stadium reached a favorite pitch as the shortest striker dribbled the ball past 2 defenders and took a shot in the goal again. The crowd held its breath and the ball sailed through the air, but the Monteclar goalkeeper made a miraculous save. Damn, that was close. He suddenly pointed to a group of people who were holding the signs in the front row. You see that? A group of Enricans who were holding signs that read FC Enrica stands with Lilius Graf. Oh my fucking God! Chat. Looks like FC Enrica fans are really into politics, but unfortunately not in you. Jesus Christ. Honestly, I couldn't care less. If they're choosing Lilius over me, their opinions don't even matter. Yeah. I wouldn't go that far. Suddenly, a wave of shouting made us focus back on the field, and an Enrican player was shown on a yellow card. With only a few minutes left on the clock, it looked as though the match would end with a 1-0 loss for FC Enrica. Suddenly, everything changed. Number 10 of Real Monteclar dribbled expertly towards the goal and effortlessly scored as Enrican defenders watched him in shock. I knew it. We watched in silence as the scoreboard was modified to display Enrica to Monteclar 2-0. The Rizian side broke into massive applause as the referee blew the final whistle. Well, then that settles it. We should go down and console the boys. We left the lounge and went downstairs to congratulate the team for their efforts. God damn it, chat. I thought we were going to win. I thought we were going to win. It's not even in real life, and I thought we were going to win. Number goes down. That's bad. Heartbreak for FC Enrica as Real Monteclar secures dominant 2-0 victory. Okay. Alliance of Nations Assembly meeting. David Whiskey and the rest of Swordfish delegation of the Alliance of Nations arrived in Curiot. Local police escorted us to the Alliance's headquarters in downtown Constantinium. Immediately recognizable by its shining dome. On entering the building, we were met by a parliamentary guide who briefed us about the procedures. After a strict security screening, the staff ushered us to the third floor. We entered the massive circular assembly hall and took our designated areas. David sat next to me. All the world's most powerful people under one gleaming dome. One rock world and the world to go to hell. I'm glad to be among them. It's amazing how someone has managed to fill a room with people that absolutely loathe each other. That's kind of funny. Glad to be among them. Everyone's words and actions here will change the word for better or worse. How are you feeling, Anton? Ever since what happened to Peter, I'm amazed that you've been holding up so well. I remember how inseparable the two of you were in university. It was before I knew who he really was. If I'd known, I never would have made him vice I managed somehow. He's more of a friend to me than I ever was to him. I wish I had done more to help him. He's a true friend. I hope that he's in a better place now. It is tough to be the president, making harsh decisions and dealing with their consequences. I wish I could have supported you more, but the time has been a cruel mistress. What you have done so far is more than enough. Don't treat yourself so harshly. For what it's worth, I appreciate all the advice you've given me. Yeah. Thank you, Anton. From a distance, we can see the president of the General Assembly, Mr. Nines, approaching his designated position. While the session is about to start, let's get comfortable. It's going to be a long day. After a short opening speech, President Nines called the first speaker to the floor. It's my great pleasure to invite the Prime Minister of Lesbia to address the assembly. Patricio Alvarez stood and walked up to the podium as the assembly applauded. Mr. President, it is my pleasure to return to this podium. David leaned in and spoke in a low voice. Let's see how crazy this year's session will get. Pressure. Let's see. I'm surprised he isn't drunk. Ignore David and listen to Alvarez's. When I last spoke here, the message I gave was encouragement and support the organization and the vital roles it plays. Of all the challenges Eastern Macapa and the whole world has faced since then, one has grown larger and more imminent than any other. The threat is so-called socialist states and the actions taken by their authoritarian rulers with no regard to international law. Loud noise came from the table of Vogsland. I saw Emmerich Hegel pounding his fist on the table in protest. Joining him with pounding. Look at that guy. He's an embarrassment. Looks like a chancellor is already mad. Who's Emmerich Hegel? Vogslandian politician and communist revolutionary, currently serves as a chancellor. Democratic Republic. Yeah, I'll pound it. Oh, Raiders, welcome in! You've been flashed. No! Flashed non-consensually. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in. For those that don't know, I'm Ned Ghost Rider. Most people call me Ghost. I'm a variety gamer. I play a bunch of different games. I also do react content to YouTube videos and news and politics and current events. If you have to raid and run, I understand, but hopefully we'll see you in the future. Hopefully you stick around. Hopefully you enjoy the stream. We are currently playing Suzerain, which is a political game where you become the president of a country called Swordland, who had a revolutionary independent movement, and then you are the third president ever. And I've been getting fucked over by all the people that don't like the changes I wanted to make to the country. So we're currently amidst a re-election campaign. and I am at the equivalent of UN. But Flash, thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had a good stream. What were you doing on stream? I joined Heigel's protest and patted my own fist on the table, which startled David. The president of the assembly slammed his gavel down. Gentlemen, I beg you to show some restraint. Today, you need to come together as the leaders of the free world is more important than ever. The CSP, under the leadership of United Katana, has been fueling Voxland's military-industrial complex and its expansionist aims at Eastern Macapa. The world turned a blind eye when the armies of Voxland occupied Helgeland, and they did not stop there. Court intelligence reports United Katana made nuclear missiles were quickly deployed to the island. He pulled out a photograph, even though it was hard to see from my position. I recognized it as an aerial image of Helgeland. It was good. Did some friend slap demos, and I tried a new game. And on some very unsuccessful GeoGuessr. Oof. Oof. All right. Flash is very fucking good at GeoGuessr. Flash is very, very good at GeoGuessr. So unsuccessful GeoGuessr is probably like getting a 100 country streak. But any good friend slap games? Because we're all about friend slap here, especially for Unhinged Fridays. We demand that the Chancellor speak the truth. As you can all see, we have evidence of the construction of the silos. I mean, Ella at me because I would suck. Oh, I'm so bad at it. That's fair. You think that's true? Shit, this is huge. Bollocks. Keep listening. I'm going to keep listening. Gonna try to keep my 300 streak alive tomorrow. Nice. No Eastern Moncapan nation can accept the installation of weapons of mass destruction in the middle of the Martian Sea. Wait, isn't that what Agnolia wants to do? Remember, Kygo stood up and kept pounding his fist. We hereby call for the immediate dismantling and withdrawal of all missiles and other offensive weapons from Helgeland. We invite all the nuclear states to support our call for the resolution in accordance with Article 11 of the Falina Treaty. Gotta run though because it's 4 a.m. Have fun, pals. Thank you, Flash. I hope you have a good sleep. I hope you have a good bed. But thank you for the raid. A lot of noise came from the assembly hall in response. Most of the Western Macapan delegates were clapping while others either shouted in protest or sat in stony silence. Let us also not forget about the recent events that transpired in another state with the socialist teachings, a state that wages war against its own innocent civilians, Wayland. A bunch of horseshit. Wayland is not even socialist. Strictly speaking, Smolek's party is called the Wazak Nationalist Party of Neurist Socialism. Oh, god damn it. They're Nazis! The purge of minorities in their country was again... They're Nazis. They're not socialists. Jesus Christ. Largely ignored by the international community, I would go as far as to call it a genocide. Wayland violated our past treaties and mobilized their armed forces, deploying them close to our borders and authorizing them to partake in massacres. Lesbia was affected not only by the large waves of refugees coming from Wayland, but by the subsequent government seizure of all of our companies that were active in the country. We hereby call the member states to action against Wayland and its rogue government. Thank you. Honestly, that was not a bad speech. Pound your fist on the table in protest. Pounded my fist on the table in progress, and Voslandian delegates joining me. He walked back to his seat amidst enthusiastic applause from most of Mercapan delegates. Oh, fuck. I'm so fucked. I'm so fucked, but just like chatters that aren't subscribed to avoid the top of the hour break. At the top of every hour, around a 3-minute ad. If you want to avoid the ads, you can pay $5.99 for a subscription or get lucky and get gifted a sub. Or you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and get a free monthly subscription from Daddy Bezos to your favorite streamer. Hopefully it's me. If it's not me, then hopefully it's one of my friends. But here comes the 3-minute ad break now. President Nines waited for the noise to calm down. Next speaker will be Victor Smolek, president of Wayland. Smolek stood up as he walked past Patricio Alvarez. He brushed him aside with an exaggerated sweep of his arms. When he reached the podium, he fumbled with the microphone for a few seconds. Then he smiled at Alvarez mockingly as he raised the height of it. Look at all the theatrics. Victor's a funny guy. I think the real chaos will start now. Look at all the theatrics. Yes, that's him. Victor turned to President Nines and bowed slightly. Mr. President. He then turned back at us and stared out into the hall for a few seconds. Fellow delegates, it is true that the world today faces a multitude of challenges. In the midst of these challenges, the world's most powerful leaders gather here in Kurut. What do? They make threats, promote hate, and spread lies. Is this the alliance of nations we all want? Where's the cooperation and friendship? Where's the unity? I remind you that the wars that the West fought on our soil, of the foreign troops who occupied our country and seized our valuable resources. I want to remind you how they stole oil from our sacred soil and they did not know when to stop. The ATO soldiers left, but their interference never ceased. They financed armed rebel groups whose only purpose is to create terror inside our country. So fellow delegates, don't you dare speak about Wayland before you acknowledge your involvement in our civil war, before you acknowledge your own dark past. It's not entirely wrong. That's an empty argument. It doesn't justify what Wayland did. Yeah, it's an empty argument. What did you expect, Mr. President? It's President Smolik. As is well known, after the tremendous tragedy of the Wayland Civil War, Arcadia made a deal with United Katanan, where they agreed upon the withdrawal of their troops along the removal of half of our army. Not only did they weaken us, we were left alone in facing the genocidal British Freedom Front, which the ATO funds together with Rumberg. Not genocidal, they just want freedom. Just like delegate before me, I will show you some of the evidence of the foreign interference. Picked up a large stack of papers and waved them back and forth. I have clear evidence of direct aid from Rumberg to the British Freedom Front. They smuggled tons of KA-74s in Wayland. They smuggled it in their spies, smuggled in mercenary commanders. Finally talking about it, we're not the only ones now. I should say something, let Smolik know I'm on his side. He's got balls taken on Rumberg and the rest. So it seems. These documents will be published everywhere. Copies have already been sent to the Investigative Affairs Alliance of Nations. I expect the organization to do its task and investigate this properly, instead of leaving Wayland behind as they have always done. Coming back to the claims of lesbian representative, first, there is no evidence of civilian massacres by the Wazig force, nor so-called purges of minorities. Second, the operation was limited only to a militant BFF and not the Bloods in general. Third, we know your government is also implicated in the funding of the BFF and that your oil companies aided their militants during the operation. Fourth, as the state, we only took what was ours. The companies the delegates spoke of were not only aiding militants, they were brought to Wayland by force. Know that Wayland will no longer recognize the right of any other country to determine what type of weapons we are permitted to possess or what type of policies we follow within our borders. Wayland stands stronger and more united than ever. Our people have spoken. The enemies inside our borders are crushed. Now I ask every delegate here to read our report on the connections of the West with the armed militants of Eastern Merkapa. And I ask the Alliance of Nations to do what's right. God damn it. Wayland not only wants peace, our people want peace. They are counting on the support and understanding of all the nations of the world. Their proclamation is free Wayland or death. The assembly roared with particularly loud applause coming from the seats of Rican nations. Damn, that was a strong speech. He seems to be popular at Rica, doesn't he? While he played the victim here pretty strongly, and his anti-imperialist stance has definitely earned him some sympathy from the Ricans, most of that continent has still not achieved stability after gaining their independence from the colonial suzerains. It's easy to forget it has only been a few years since the revolutions. Victor slowly walked back to his seat as he applauded himself. He saluted the Rican delegates as he passed them. The ex-president Nines invited Martin Van Horten to the podium. He walked up to the microphone with quick steps. He was frowning and clenching his fist. I could almost see his jaw trembling. Seems like Martin's not in the mood. He looks pissed. Uh-oh, it's Helgeland time. Seems like Martin is not in the mood. Can you blame him? Vogsland just occupied Helgeland. Mr. President, fellow delegates of the Assembly and friends, it is an honor to be with you today. I wish we could meet under different circumstances. Once again, the CSP nations, and in particular Vogsland, have shown us what they're willing to do to achieve their political aims. I must sadly say that the world has left us alone. We were one of the first countries to propose proper cooperation among Eastern Mercapan nations. Yet, when we were threatened by Vogslandian expansionism, nobody came to our side. Although Mr. Alva's voiced his indirect support for us earlier in today's session, I can't keep myself from wondering where he was when our lands were under invasion by the very socialists he spoke about. Okay, for background information, chat, nobody acknowledged that Agnolia, which is the country that he comes from, occupied that land. It was still Vogsland, which is why we were supporting Vogsland. So here I am asking for support of the fellow member states of the Alliance of Nations. Agnolia is under attack from Vogsland. Loud banging noise emerged from the table of Vogslandian delegates. All of them were pounding the fist on the table. Joining the pounding. Mr. President, please. Mr. President, please moderate the assembly. This is more than disrespectful. Nines repeatedly banged his gavel. Order. Order! Order, there will only be order when this coward stops smearing Vogsland's good name. Silence, Chancellor, Mr. Prime Minister, please continue. As you all know, Helgeland, which had been in the territory of Analia for more than 3 decades, was invaded by Vogsland in a sudden attack. Not only did they unlawfully occupy our land, they brought nuclear missiles to the island the moment our forces retreated. In the midst of all this, Suzerain, which explicitly promised to support us, has switched sides after hosting a meeting with Mr. Malniev. Another state from Eastern Merkaba now works for the CSP. Malang VS. Terror surrounds us all on all sides. We must not falter. I invite all member states to find a resolution in accordance with Article 11 of the Palenko Treaty enforcing the immediate dismantling all missiles from Helgeland. I must also remind you that under Article 3 of Ventry City Act, the Alliance of Nations must ensure the withdrawal of the occupying force from the island. I call the democratic world to action against the tyranny of millennialism, authoritarianism, militarism, and extremism. Dude, they're just fucking blowhards. Banging noise started again. Hegel stood up and approached the rostrum. You are a spineless jerk, lackey of Arcasian imperialism. President Nine started hitting the gavel again. Look at the old man go. What does he think he's doing? Yeah, I'm going to do this. I stood up. Mr. President, Chancellor Hegel has the right to intervene. Let him respond. Have some respect, Mr. Van Horten. You're blaming everyone for your own incompetence. Don't bring Sorland into this. President Nines, please, what is this? Order! President Nines smacked his gavel in vain as shouting match broke out in the assembly. Finally, after a few minutes, the other Vogslandian delegates convinced Hegel to sit back down. I believe I don't need to speak more about the subject. Everything is clear as day. Mr. Hegel's action speaks volumes about the reality of Vogsland and the corrupted ideology. I hope to see this conflict resolved with the help of the Alliance of Nations soon. Quickly left the podium and nodded as the other Agnolian delegates. The two left the assembly hall. The next speaker on the list is Emmerich Hegel of Vogsland. Mr. Chancellor, I will remind you to respect the principles of civility and decorum in these halls. Hegel immediately took his place and spoke in low, seething tone. Thank you, Mr. President. David, buckle up. It's Chancellor's time now. Looks like you're having fun, Mr. President. First of all, I want to extend a due welcome to the new states from Rica that have joined this organization. After fighting for years against colonialism and imperialism, they more than earned our membership vote. I am overjoyed to see them finally represented in the assembly. As our numbers grow and more states are represented in the stage, we come ever close to finding resolutions to conflicts that plague us. For hundreds of years, the dominant economies of Merkaba raised, pillaged, and exploited the continents of the Rica and Xena. Sadly, Vogsland was also a part of this plunder in the years before the revolution, when it still clung to the idea of imperialism. But when our masses found their voice, the old colonial powers and their new financiers turned against them. These powers did whatever they could to hamper our revolutions. They did not want the people to be heard. They are scared of us for showing the possibility of a better path. Of course, they don't want us to succeed. We threaten the productivity that runs on blood and sweat of their working class. It's kind of cooking, chat. It's kind of cooking. And now they have started labeling us the aggressors, yet we all know it was Arcasians who built up military bases all around Merkaba. It was the ATO that was the first form to fight against millennialism. We'll say Comrade Hegel. Honestly, he's completely right. He's exaggerating. David looked at me as if he wasn't sure whether he heard me correctly. Helgeland was, is, and will be Vogslandian territory. Our intervention on the island was completely justified. Our other delegates brought up the Felenko and Vetria City treaties. However, they are forgetting about the Treaty of Adrium. Vogsland exercised this right to intervene on behalf of our people who were being oppressed and massacred by the Agnolian government just because they did not recognize an appointed governor. They didn't get to elect one. We acted in full accordance with the second article of the treaty. If there's a side to blame, it is the state which murders its minorities for publicly showing support to our nation. There were also claims about illegal missiles. No country in the world has the right to determine what type of weapons we import. If there's a conflict the alliance can resolve, let's start with the Arcasian base on Ravnos Island. Hi, Lemon. Lesbia has been housing Arcasian troops and missiles by our border for years, and none of the member states even talked about it. I also wanted the member states to look into Arcasian bases in Lesbia. And if the Alliance of Nations... Politic game? Yeah, Politique. Should be finishing tonight, hopefully. If the Alliance of Nations truly claims to have the people's best interests at heart, they cannot stay silent about what Agnolian government did in Helgeland, how they took away the rights of our people. Perhaps then, they can be a proper dialogue between our nations, and the Alliance of Nations can finally demonstrate that it can serve its intended purpose. But unfortunately, the Alliance of Nations remains all too willing to overlook such human rights violations. However, the Vloglanian government is ready as always to fight the forces of oppression and colonial servitude on behalf of free people everywhere. Before I leave this stage, I also would like to extend a due welcome to Swordland, our newest entrant into the CSP. Another great nation now stands together with us. He raised his left fist. A Roluten Vescor. Was that Swordfish? Did I catch that right? Stand up in his applauded speech. Yeah, I'm fucking applauding that shit. Egypt's got their first ever World Cup soccer game. Oh, really? Oh, I think my caddy friend had a parlay where he needed New Zealand to win. So I think he lost the parlay because of that. And I had a conversation with him on the golf course that gambling is bad. He's like, no, DraftKings. I'm like, bro, gambling leads to like the most suicides ever. Like the most suicides by far. And he's like, oh, I didn't realize that. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I have no problem with gambling, but you have to go to a casino to do it, but don't do it on your fucking phone. Even though with my knowledge of like weather and stuff, I should go on like Kalshi and like Polymarket and stuff and just make a shit ton of money. Or you just make a whole bunch of accounts that peddle misinformation and make the market move and then beat it. I got jump scared by my own pinned message. It's a great message. Hell yeah, I want in. Just make a bunch of bots that peddle misinformation. Because that's not technically against the rules. There technically are no rules on prediction markets. Most of the delegates from Xena, Rika, and Kantana responded with thunderous applause. Hego shook hands with them as he walked back to his seat. President Nines announced the next speaker, Queen Beatrice of Livingston. Dear President of the Assembly, dear delegates, dear leaders of the world, just as my fellow Eastern Mercapan delegates spoke about the troubles of plague in our continent, I also have to bring attention to the plight of the people of the North. The Alliance of Nations, the ATO, the CSP, even the OMEC, have never supported our people when they've been through tragic atrocities. Unlike many of the Western countries here, we never received financial aid when natural disasters struck our land. The pain of our people was never recognized, not even when they faced the threat of genocide by the hands of the Swordfish Kings. Oh. My brother sells trading cards, so he kind of does that too. Misinformation? He does misinformation about the trading cards? Like all that, employ this alliance to take a closer look at the actions of our southern neighbors. Not long ago, Sorlin reinforced its forces along our borders. No gambling? Oh, okay. Yeah, speculative trading. God damn it. I was very confused, Ari. Are you that far behind in the stream? Are you on mobile? Not long ago, Sorlin where is this? In light of all that, I implore this alliance to take a closer look at the actions of our southern neighbors. Not long ago, Sorlin reinforced its forces along our border. They took in traders and gave them protection. The president even went so far to blame our country for spying on his administration through his own private secretary. He expects the world to believe his lies. Mr. President, point of order. Can't let her speak about us like this. Overruled, Mr. President. Please wait for Her Excellency to finish speaking. What the fuck? Oh, God, they're just gonna let her fucking speak. I'm using Fire TV. Oh. And inside their country, they've been oppressing and killing innocent civilians just because they belong to a different culture. I wish to extend my sympathy. Wait, I haven't been doing that. I wish to extend my sympathies to all Blutish people that had to go through the tragic atrocities being committed by the Swordfish authorities. I hereby invite all of you to determine the initiation of a proper intergovernmental investigation in Swordland. If the Alliance continues to shirk its given duties, you can trust in Rumberg to take matters in their own hands. It is also important to point out that Rumberg will not stand idly by if more containing military transferred to Eastern Merkaba. I hereby condemn both CSP and Swordland for allowing United Katana to settle in our region. Before I finish, I also want to say, Mr. Schmalk, I'm looking forward to reading your report. I wonder what the so-called evidence is all about. Know that your slander does not work on us. Know that we are ready to die for our freedom. Know that our kingdom stands firm and strong. You're a kingdom. You're not free. I Expect a grand awakening. Thank you. Oh, God. That sounded like a threat. You left the rostrum without getting much applause. President Nines announced the next speaker. Mr. Anton Rain, President of Sworland, I invite you to address the assembly. David immediately started applauding. Good luck, Mr. President. I walked up to the rostrum and took my place at the podium. In front of me were some of the most powerful leaders in the entire world. I looked them in the eyes. Thank you, Mr. President, fellow delegates, and it's an honor to be here. Your members of the assembly. The representation of Sworland is pleased to address this assembly. I'm going to thank the president. Anybody who attends this rostrum must appreciate what a significant gathering he is addressing. It should be they. The speakers who have preceded me have expressed their concern about their problems. Sworland remains committed to the Alliance of Nations and ideals that gave birth to it. I like to stress the importance of these words, Alliance of Nations. Yet we all know how often the noble ideas embodied in this charter remain unfulfilled and concerned and unheard. We must remain devoted to the dream of a peaceful and free world and united world. Yet we all know how often noble ideals embodied in this charter remain unfulfilled and concerns unheard. Our century is a century of struggle for freedom, the century of liberation from foreign occupation. Our people are still not free from fear, not free from poverty and starvation. The world is faced with dangers of division, large military alliance, and nuclear arms races. People are still not free from fear, not free from poverty and starvation. Now is more important than ever to set aside our differences and unite under this charter. It's time to ask the hard questions. Ask if this organization is achieving any of its aims. Today, we're confronted by a difficult choice. Our great achievements may either be used for the benefit or the detriment of mankind. Based. I'd like to address some of the topics mentioned here today. I will not respond to any of the comments made today. Instead, I want to talk about our responsibilities as Alliance Nation. Chat. Do we go after him? Do we go after him or do we wag our finger at them? Do we go after him or do we wag our finger at them? I feel like we should go after him and defend ourselves. Let's go after him. Now, I'd like to address some of the topics mentioned here today. Zura claimed that Wayland was involved in genocide. Such strong words shouldn't be spoken without proper evidence. We were deeply saddened by the tragic events that took place in Wayland. I condemn Smolik's crimes against the Blutish people. Yes! This is what I'm doing. I condemn Smolik's crimes against the Blutish people. Sworland stands together with Blutish people. We'll continue our cooperation with Wayland. I also would like to respond to Mr. Van Horten. Must first look at his own actions in Helgeland, which started this chain of events. We were in no way involved with Helgeland. He claims there is malicious terror. All I see is neocolonialism and imperialism terrorizing undeveloped nations. Based. In any case, Sworland will do whatever it takes to achieve peace in Eastern Macapa. In any case, Sworland stands and will stand together with CSP. Blagswan only wishes to achieve freedom for the people of the world. Sworland sympathizes with that noble cause. Voxland only wishes to achieve freedom for the people of the world. Sworland sympathizes with this noble cause. Okay. Emmerich Heigl started applauding. I would also like to address the Queen of Rundberg. She talked about some hypothetical threat that our nation poses to Eastern Macapa while Rundberg's military has tripled in the last decade. The real threat in the Eastern Macapa has always been Rundberg. Today, it's still the case. Sworland always wanted to have peace between our nations, yet we are being threatened by Rundberg. Oh, I didn't want to... Fuck. Whatever. Sworland always wanted to have peace between our nations, yet we're being threatened by Rundberg. We'll never recognize your vile words against us. I condemn your actions and your speech. We want to be diplomatic even when Rundberg shot down our plane. Oh! Got him! I also have some evidence to show to the Assembly Mr. Schulich was right about the KA-74s. Sworland only wanted peace, not baseless accusations. So if Rundberg continues its aggression, Sworland will be ready. I also have some evidence to show the Assembly Mr. Smolik was right about the KA-74s. Rundberg has definitely been arming the BFF at Sworland. We discovered that many militant groups in Sworland and BN Finance are armed by Rundberg. There's another important piece of evidence that we have provided to us by someone close to Rundbergian government. I hereby call on the Alliance of Nations serves its duty. Rundberg and its linked Links to rebel groups must be properly investigated. I hereby call on the Alliance of Nations. Another important piece of evidence that we have provided to us by someone close to the Rumburgian government. Mr. Hailstone was branded as a traitor in Rumburg for blowing the whistle on the country's hidden nuclear facilities. According to our reports, Rumburg has been building its own nuclear weaponry. Mr. Hailstone was branded as a traitor in Rumburg for blowing the whistle on the country's hidden nuclear facilities. Here we're calling the Alliance of Nations to serve its duty. Rumburg and its nuclear facilities must be properly investigated. Hereby calling the Alliance of Nations to support Suzerain. We are facing an existential threat. Thank you for listening to our concerns. I wish to see a resolution from the AN soon. Now I'd like to bring my speech to a close. Thank you for listening to our concerns. I wish to see a resolution from the AN soon. The AN can no longer fail to recognize the machinations of the enemies of peace. We stand and always will stand for the rights of the people of Swordland and Eastern Merkapa, just as those in other continents. If the right actions are not taken, it will be quite evident that international relations cannot continue on such a basis. AN can no longer fail to recognize machinations of the enemies of peace. Long live the Alliance of Nations, long live unity and peace. There cannot be any more procrastination or delay. The AN must adopt decisions according to the wishes of the people of the world. People of Swordland and I are honored to have expressed our... There cannot be any more procrastination or delay. The AN must adopt decisions according to the wishes of the people of the world. Peace in Merkapa, peace in the world. Almorgna West Corps. Long live the people's revolutions. Long live the democracies of the world. Long live the people's revolutions. Emmerich Hagel stood up and raised his fist. Revolution West Corps. I heard thunderous applause from half of the assembly. Raise my fist? Yes. Raised my fist before I left the podium. I walked back to my seat. David did not stop applauding until I sat down. How was it? Finally, it's over. It was not a bad speech, Mr. President. You did well. Nailed it. President Nines announced the next speaker, Dwight Walker. Mr. President, I first want to congratulate you on your own election to this high office. Mr. Secretary, delegates to the Alliance of Nations, ladies and gentlemen, fellow friends. I believe this person is the president of Arcasia. Yeah. Yeah, he's the president of Arcasia, which I think Arcasia is supposed to be like the United States. I thought that was a good speech. Meet again on our quest to bring peace and light into this world, but even though some of the clouds have lifted, the world has not yet escaped the darkness. The Katanan Security Pact is rapidly expanding its influence. Now a fellow Merkapan nation, Swordland is standing with the United Katana and its millennium-viest ideology. It's very troubling to see a democratic nation of Merkapa be invaded by those millennium-viest powers. I refer, of course, to Helgeland's occupation by Valgsland. This is an attack against the lasting peace the world has enjoyed since the century of the revolutions. Today, our peacekeeping obligations are being tested by the United Katana and the millennium-viest bloc. If we fail to counter and stop this threat, if we stay idle and allow them to build new walls and weapons of hostility, if the attackers do not face any consequences, then this unstable peace we believed we had built with the will be the world's downfall, and posterity will point its finger at us for not stopping it. Emmerich Hegel and the other Valgslanian delegates started making noise again. This time, Hegel had taken off his shoe and was banging it on the table. Old man is base. Pound your fist to give support to Hegel. Despite the noise we all made, President Walker continues his speech without a pause. Despite his claim the CSP's action will only bring about war, we believe United Katana and Arcasia, together with their allies, could come to an understanding for our mutual benefit and our desire to avoid the destruction of the world. What a show. Yeah. United Katana keeps acting in complete disregard to international law. Their allies are forcefully taking land and imposing their own values on the people of those lands. I will say this to the leaders of United Katana. If either of us is to be secure, we need a peaceful cooperation, not nuclear missiles, shows of naval superiority, or invasions. The leaders of United Katana fail to demilitarize Helgeland with complete dismantling of nuclear missiles, the withdrawal of occupied Valgslanian forces. The ATO will have to take matters in their own hands. Jesus fucking Christ. But you're allowed to have nuclear weapons, but we're not allowed to have nuclear weapons? Hegel stood up with a shoe in his hand. What is that supposed to mean? You're promoting war in the Alliance of Nations? Mr. President, this cannot... Nine slammed the gavel down. Silence. Mr. Chancellor, please let me finish. We did not interrupt you when you addressed the assembly. Finally, propose that the Alliance of Nations undertake the noble cause of helping the people of the world. Through rewriting and properly enforcing the Human Rights Declaration, it should adapt. The Alliance of Nations cannot survive as a static organization. Its size and duties are increasing enormously. It should adapt to the changing world. But peace and rights do not rest in the hands of this organization alone. They rely on the hearts of our people and the spirit of cooperation between our nations. So let it be known, my fellow inhabitants of this world, let us take our stand and see if we can finally achieve a lasting peace. Thank you. Most of the assembly applauded his speech to ATO delegates, and in particular, that speech had a very dangerous connotations to it. Yes, I hope we won't be seeing a direct war between the superpowers anytime soon. That would be the destruction of the planet. The applause continued for some time. Walker shook hands with various delegates on his way back to his seat. President Nine spoke into the microphone once more. We have one final speaker before the break, Leon Malniev of United Katana. Malniev slowly walked to the rostrum in his iconic suit. All the CSP delegates stood up and applauded him. Honorable Chairman and fellow delegates of the Alliance of Nations. Here we are again at the most esteemed meeting of state representatives in the world. However, increasingly we are being threatened, disregarded, attacked, or ignored in this assembly. The representation of Arcasia has just shown this unfriendly attitude towards us yet again. Arcasia would have you believe we are standing in the way of lasting peace, yet the peace they talk about was only possible thanks to our missiles and our growing base in the developing world. The ATO kept waging wars against people's revolutions and forcing new independent states to be their puppets, binding them to themselves through the Arcasian lira. Now, yet again, Arcasian president is telling us that we are the aggressors and they are the keepers of the peace. We will not be silent anymore against these lies. When was this peace you talk about? Where was this cooperation between our countries? Have you ever accepted our invitation to talk about denuclearization? If you don't like us, don't accept our deals. Don't listen to our concerns and keep pointing fingers at us. Why did you invite us to the Alliance of Nations? Every year, United Katana comes to this assembly address to real problems, to address the real problems of real people who suffer because of your systems, your wars, and your ignorance. Whether you like it or not, we'll keep representing the laborers, the slaves, the oppressed of this world, and believe it or disregard it, history is on our side. We say the representatives of capitalist countries come and visit us. Come and see the revolution working in Katana. Show our continent to your people without distorting reality. If you cannot do that, then you need not come. We believe socialism will triumph over capitalism in the end, such is the logical conclusion of the development of humankind. Based? Super based? Super based, chat? Holy shit. Actually, I need to adjust this. Here we go. We believe socialism will triumph over capitalism in the end, such as the logical conclusion of the development of humankind. This time, the lesbian delegates started laughing very loudly. Some other delegates booed ridiculous. Millennium is living in his dreams. Keep watching. Wait, I don't know what I'm saying ridiculous for. See, this is like negative against them. I'll just keep watching. I kept watching. You can keep laughing, gentlemen. Communism will bury you. Suddenly, laughing turned into shouting. If you really believe in cooperation, we'll be waiting. We're not going anywhere. However, the ATO keeps intervening in our matters. It is natural, and the CSP would react. Before we move on, we also would like to extend a warning to Rumberg. Representatives from both Wayland and Sorland referred to KA-74s being smuggled into their countries. Suzerain also pointed out the construction of nuclear weaponry in Rumberg. Our intelligence also confirms this. United Katana and the CSP will stand against the aggression of Rumberg. They are playing a dangerous game, one that may bring ruin to Merkapa and their own lands. I hope the Alliance of Nations can find a resolution to this conflict. If not, let it be known that United Katana will do whatever it takes to protect the people of Swordland and Eastern Merkapa. Great news. I hope he means it. Think Rumberg can pursue any more aggression after that statement? Nice. Nice. It's definitely good news. Katana is showing clear support for us. Despite threats from the ATO, Rumberg, or any other nation or organization, we must not succumb to further division and violence. We must ask ourselves, what do the people of our countries expect of us? They surely don't want war and bloodshed. So let us leave to our children and grandchildren good memories of our time and a better future for all. Let them look at history and say, once there were great divisions and complex problems, but the leaders of the world came together in Alliance of Nations and succeeded in settling them in order to ensure our peaceful lives. Hi, Kita. Let us act in such a way that makes this session not a session of threats, but a session of hopes and the realization of them. The government of United Katana and the United Peoples of Katana are ready to serve their duties for world peace. Long live the People's Revolution. Long live the revolution. That was a great speech. Stand up and applaud his speech. The assembly broke in a massive applause. Oh! The applause continued for some time. Malniev slowly walked back to his seat. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll reconvene later in the day for the final agenda items and closing remarks. David stood and stretched his arms. That was a lot. Definitely was. It was troubling. Tensions are too high. Yeah, let's grab some lunch. Lead the way. We walked out of the hall to have some lunch and fresh air. Dude, that was a base speech. I dare say it was better than my speech. Election poll results. With the election drawing near, staff of Maroon Palace has conducted a general election poll all across Sorland. Our election polls show that roughly 16% of Sortish citizens would vote for the USP in upcoming election. That's not good. ATO grant, well, it might be good. Grants a guard observer status, addressing drug trade. CSP modernizes the Sorland Navy. Admirals have been working tirelessly along with their CSP counterparts to modernize the Navy. The regiment's training have been changed to include more maneuvering exercises as well as naval invasion training. Our destroyers have been retrofitted with the latest technology, hull plating, and cutting-edge main guns transported from United Cantonin. General Staff reports that the Sortish Navy has never been in better condition. CSP warns Grace against formation of anti-Maliniev's union. AN ambassador supports Sorland. The AN ambassador has extended their full support after recent revelations about Rumberg on the international stage. Sorland has received a guarantee that the international community will stand by its territorial integrity and independence in this times. This boosts confidence in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Hell yeah. Private meeting with David. David had scheduled a private meeting with me, but he didn't specify what it was about. I heard a knock on the door. Mr. President, may I come in? Yes, David, please come in. Thank you. Slowly made his way towards the chair in front of my desk and sat down. First of all, thank you for your time. Anything for you, David? Don't mention it. What's wrong? Anything for you, David? I want to ask how you are doing. Honestly, I'm tired, David. I'm tired of it all. I'm fine. Thanks for asking. It's very good. Please be sure to take some time for yourself amid all this. If you ignore the mental fatigue, it will slowly creep in on you. It will poison your thoughts. Thank you for your valuable advice. Thank you for taking my advice over the years. Sorry, coughing. What a privilege for me. I had the chance to watch my student grow into a fine and strong leader in my lifetime. What a privilege indeed. You tried your best to bring reform to Swordland, and that is valiant in it itself. It's okay to feel frustrated by failure, but change unfortunately doesn't happen easily. I'm gonna watch TV in bed. Okay, Bite Sync, thanks for popping in. Hopefully, I hope you enjoy that TV. Pave the path for future generations to follow, and they will remember you for it. Wouldn't it be possible without you? That's right. I will do whatever I can to leave a good world for the ones who will come after us. That's it. That's the spirit. We can't be sulking about our failures for too long, otherwise we will spiral into despair. This country does not need any more despair. David coughed again, this time for longer. I overheard a conversation the other day near a newspaper stand. It piqued my interest, so I kept listening. They were talking about you. They were calling you a diehard Malinuvest. What do you think about that? They weren't wrong. I am diehard Malinuvest. I refuse to be called a Malinuvest. Malinuvest? My father, Arthur S. Whiskey, used to say, always know yourself. It's good to know that you do. So the elections are fast approaching. How are you feeling about your chances? We'll win no matter what. I can't say for sure, but I'm hopeful. We're going to win. We're going to fucking win! Good, that is what leaders should say. I'm afraid I have an announcement to make to you. An announcement? What kind? Why? What's wrong? After the turn is done, I will be retiring. David, I can't accept this. You're irreplaceable in my cabinet. David, I can't accept this. You're irreplaceable. I've been in this line of work for many decades now. I swore an oath to myself years ago. I would quit if I ever felt like I didn't have the physical capability to serve anymore. At that point, I would become a hindrance. That time has come, Mr. President. My bones are aching, my hands are shaking, my voice is failing. Besides, I'm sure you can find a younger minister who is a little more full of life. He winked at me and chuckled, which turned into another cough. You'll be sorely missed, David. You have been a mentor, a teacher, a friend. Thank you for your service to this country. It was an honor, Mr. President. David stood up to leave. Shake his hand, hug David. Oh, I'm going to hug his ass. I'm going to hug him. Gulag for being a quitter. Best of luck, Anton. Thank you. He turned around and left. Gulag for being a quitter. Hilarious. I know he puts forward a bid to join ATO. Okay. ATO signs non-aggression pact 3 years with Enraka. Vice President Gilad shines during campaign. Our Vice President Lucien Gilad has been hosting massive rallies trying to sway both the conservative and reformist voters, while also trying to attract new undecided voters. Fortunately, the great and extraordinary oratory skills of the VP has led to many voters to flock to USP. The VP is shining while expanding the potential voter base. See, I want to change parties. World Revolution Manifesto, Revolutionary Step. Vice Secretary Chairman Tokezintili Ayotake of the United Assembly of United Katana has made a groundbreaking announcement. He has proposed the World Revolution Manifesto, a revolutionary vision calling for an ideological shift towards Maldivism and Vogtlandian socialism globally. This manifest aims at the revolution to revolutionize global governance, focusing on investment in education, infrastructure, and health rather than military investments. The World Revolution Manifesto is seen as a continuation of the CSP's colossal investment scheme. Initiated 3 years ago, this scheme had channeled 150 billion KS into Rica's infrastructure and education sectors, transforming the continent's social landscape and shaping it to become one of the sustainable development. This new manifesto, while global in scope, aims to replicate this success, fostering a worldwide revolution. The approach is a peaceful one, favoring socioeconomic development over military power. The goal is to construct a world where liberty, equality, and wealth are universally accessible. Fork, hydrofiler. Minority poll results. Now, opinion polls on minority voter groups have been very positive, especially from British citizens in our country. Thanks to our relaxed immigration law, their votes will have a larger impact on the election. Existence of nuclear weapons in Rumberg confirmed. AN intelligence confirmed the information from the Rumbergian whistleblower is true. Rumberg does have a nuclear weapon capable of threatening Sordland and Eastern Macapa. The Alliance of Nations ratified a barrage of sanctions on Rumberg by the member states. USP Congress called. Now ex-Interior Lilius Graf challenging President Anton Reign following her resignation. Congress has been called, at which members of the USP will determine the party's future leadership. At the Grand National Assembly, both Graf and Reign will make speeches, after which the votes will be cast. Oh, headlines. Liz Graf challenges Anton Reign. People's Front coming strong. As the elections draw near, rising political force in Sordland is garnering significant attention and support. The People's Front, this novel alliance forged between the Workers' Party of Bludia and Communist Party of Sordland, is experiencing a remarkable surge in the polls, signaling a potential shift in the nation's political landscape. The emergence of a progressive coalition presents an opportunity for sort of citizen. Can I change parties? Can I just change parties to the People's Front? Source foreign minister retires. KG strategic. Wait, Sordland's first. Wait, what? Oh, the first president of Sordland, not under Sol. Chancellor Hagel's disgrace at Alliance of Nations. Oh, fuck. This is on Hell's Land. Friday afternoon in the office of the President, Sordland Maroon Palace. Door open, Lucien entered. Mr. President, there is a problem. Kind of problem. The cabinet members say they wanted to speak to you urgently. They're in the weight room. Please follow me. We started walking. What this is about? I was just told to come get you, sir. I opened the doors and we entered in the weight room. I looked around. Simon and Gus were seated. They looked at each other. What is going on here? So why did you call me here, Mr. President? We were here to let you know that we were handing you our resignations. Your resignations was the meaning of this. I see you're trying to sabotage me before the election. That is not why. We simply cannot go on anymore after what happened. But why? What are your reasons? You're betraying me? Talk to me. What can I do? How can I help? I suppose we owe you an explanation. I failed my mission at the Ministry of the Economy. During our turn, instead of stopping the recession, we have made it even worse and entered the Swedish depression. I blame myself for this. I couldn't offer you better solutions. I have proven that I am unfit to serve as Minister of the Economy. Sordland, I will resign at the end of our term. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Please don't do this, Simon. I'm to blame, not you. Good. At least you have some dignity. Thank you. It's been a pleasure to work with you. Likewise, Mr. President. Mr. President, I must say I've been a minister for a very long time now. I have to look into other ventures in my life and spend some time with family. It's been a long time since I reconnected with them. I was very happy to be part of your team you created. I will be handing you my resignation at the end of our term. Thank you, guys. It was nice to have you. Let's keep in touch about more potential investments. Family comes first. I understand. Thank you for understanding, Mr. President. I took a deep breath. I looked at their determined faces. I have no choice but to accept your resignations. I accept the resignation, not get on my face. Ministers left, and I took a seat alone in the white room. Simon failed his job and could always be replaced by another expert. His departure wouldn't be felt, and the damage he has done won't be forgotten. We got the L1 project completed with Gus, and the mark of that investment was felt at Swordland. People come and people go, such is life. Gus sucked. Gus was a dick. My cabinet's falling apart. Wave of resignation, strike Rain administration. I mean, they're just finishing the term. In the wake of last week's high-profile cabinet resignations, attention has shifted towards President Rain, whose term is nearing its conclusion. As of now, no appointments have been made to fill the vacant positions, raising questions about the stability and the effectiveness of the current administration during the critical period. Undoubtedly, these developments will significantly influence the upcoming election as President Rain seeks a potential second term in office. The administration's ability... Wait, I don't understand. Resignations, who's on Rain's side now? After the last wave of cabinet resignations, we have to ask who, if anyone, is still supporting Anton Rain. To have such valuable and experienced officials desert the administration so close to the election is both a crushing blow and decisive referendum on Rain presidency. It's looking more and more like Rain will go down in history, the ineffectual one-term president, just like his predecessor. United Swordland Party Congress. It was the day of the United Swordland Party Congress. For the third time in the party, Swordland's history, Cannon was challenging an incumbent president. Surge was driving me to the Grand National Assembly for the historic event. I looked out the window as we passed through a small forest dividing Maroon Palace and the Assembly. I thought about the day I announced my candidacy against Ewald Alfonso when he was still president. Then I remembered how just a few years before, Ewald challenged Tarkin Soul. How are you feeling back there, sir? I'm good. I'm okay, Serge. How are you doing? I'm as good as I can be, sir. Serge made a left turn out the forest and entered the vast garden area of the assembly. I still don't believe how Ms. Graff could run against you. She owed her position to you. Don't worry, she's not going to win. Some people have no respect for gratitude. Honestly, she doesn't owe me anything. I only picked her to get a conservative support. Doesn't matter, Serge. She can do as she pleases. Don't worry, she's not going to win. I'm going to stay positive, chat. I never had any doubts about that, sir. He parked the car in front of the gate that led to USP's wing in the assembly. Good luck, Mr. President. See you on the way back. Thank you, sir. I entered the building and joined the crowd of influential politicians, lobbyists, and benefactors who had gathered for this turning point. It was almost time for the debate. The crowd dispersed, and the members of the USP went inside the Congress Hall. United Swordland banners hung from every possible spot. I tried to mentally prepare for my speech, but the lingering memories from the first two leadership races were making it hard for me to focus. As if on cue, Lilia strode past me into the hall, accompanied by a large group of her supporters. Instead of her usual beige, she wore a sun-yellow skirt and blazer. Gloria Turi was on her right. I tried to ignore them as I entered the hall. I took a seat next to Lucian and waited for the session to begin. Mr. President, time to face Lilius. I can't shake the thought of losing today. Let's do this. How are you feeling about the vote? I hope you won't betray me too. Oh. Let's do this. I believe in you, sir. If you remind them who you are right before the vote, you will win the day. Of course I will. I wish I could be out that. Of course I will. Sir, looks like it's starting. He pointed at the podium. Albin Clavin was there. He was about to introduce the candidates. Ladies and gentlemen, the hall fell silent as it continued. We gather here today in 28th Congress of United Swordland Party for the third leadership race in its history. As one of the youngest members of the Assembly, I am honored to be operating this historic session today. Members of USP will soon be voting on whether President Rain or Lilius Graff should assume leadership going forward. Before we begin the selection process, I would like to invite both candidates to give very short speeches. First, I would like to invite Anton Rain, the fourth president of Swordland and chairman of your party. I stood up and walked up to the podium in applause and campaign music. I shook his hand before I began addressing the party. Thank you, Albin. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters! Together we have achieved a lot in the past 4 years. Did my best in order to make Swordland a better place. I know that term could have gone better. Did my best to make Swordland a better place. I took office to bring reform to this country. I took on the responsibility to fix our constitution. People wanted reforms from us, so we did our best to deliver. But Lilius Grass and the old guard stood in our way. Yet they did not want me to succeed, and together we tried to resist the establishment. Lilius Grass and the old guard stood in our way. I took a deep breath. But I am here to do more to bring meaningful change, but I believe if we stand together, nobody can stop us. I may have made mistakes, but I promise to fix it all. But I am here to do more to bring meaningful change. Can't let Miss Graff take the helm of our ship. Help me continue our fight to make this country great. I promise you I will not let you down. Help me continue to fight to make this country great. I promise to bring the recession under control in no time. What I have achieved in my first term cannot be denied. I guess we can talk about my healthcare. Let's unite under this flag one more time. Do not fall to Miss Graff's lies. She betrayed our trust by leaving a very important office. I don't think Miss Graff can provide any alternative. Let's unite under this flag one more time. Miss Graff is a puppet of Tarkin's soul in the old guard, nothing else. If you want to give control of this party to a woman who ran away from her duties, give me your support. Let's bring this country together. I know you would do the right thing. Let's get this over with. Elect me again so we can continue our great transformation. Long live United Sutherland. Vote reign. Obmorgna Westcore. Campaign music started blaring again, and I left the podium. Albin shook my hand again, and I walked back to my seat in a sound of applause. I sat back down next to Lucian. It was a good speech, sir. Congratulations. Albin spoke from the podium again. Thank you again for your speech, Mr. President. Now I'd like to invite the next candidate to the stage. She is one of the most experienced and respected members of this party. We all know her from her accomplishments in archery and holesword, and as the Sordland's Minister of the Interior. Let's welcome the former Minister of the Interior of Sordland, Lilius Grass. The hall started applauding. Lilius walked up to the podium, accompanied by an old nationalist song about Swedish Civil War. I'll let it into Norka, the light in the darkness. Her eyes had a fire in them that I'd never seen before. Fellow compatriots, it is an honor to be a candidate for the leadership of our great United Sordland Party. She pulled out a handkerchief and dabbed at our eyes. Forgive me, this beautiful song always fills me with emotion. My opponent might call that weakness. I consider it strength. Jesus Christ, she's going with the revolutionary thing, the nostalgia thing. Jesus Christ, this is literally, oh God. Oh God. She's going with nostalgia to get people to fucking vote for her. And basically have no fucking policy. Makes me... And I literally gave a speech about hope and looking for the future. Ugh. Brings me hope to see all the energy in this Congress hall today. But hope alone does not suffice. I don't want to listen to any songs any longer. I want us to sing them from the rooftops. What is it that you want, sons and daughters in Sordland? I'll tell you right now. You want a Sordland that protects its own rather than letting in foreigners who have no respect for our culture. Chat, she's going full-blown Nazi. She's going full Nazi. She's going full Nazi. She's going with nostalgia and she's blaming fucking foreigners. She's going Nazi. You want a strong United Sordland? I'm here to tell you that none of those things are possible as long as Anton Rain is in office. As those who rule the state become more and more alienated from the values that make us who we are, and the deplorables who stand silent against us sink us deeper into the quagmire of moral and cultural corruption. He took this party away from its roots with no regard to our core values. He tore his own wife away from her rightful place at home and forced her into the politics in the name of women's liberation. Chat. She said deplorables? Yeah. Can I point out that she's a woman in political office and she's complaining that my wife is advocating for women's liberation and was ripped from her rightful place at home, and she's a woman in politics? Chat, can we point that out? Can we point that out to all the trad wives that are making a shit ton of money, telling everybody that they should stay home and be homemakers? And he did all that without even managing to fix the recession. Sword's people are still suffering. But beyond all, he tried to remove sword from Sordland's constitution. He tried to undo the core values that make us who we are. What was that if not an attempt to destroy our nation, our unity, our culture? He's a disgrace to the name of Tarkin's soul. We cannot allow him to taint the accomplishments of this party any further. He's going too far. Oh, screw you. She's going too far. She's going Nazi. Don't worry, sir. Let her say what she wants. The result won't change. After nearly 4 years of president behaving abominably against all my advice, I had no choice but to tender my resignation. For I believe we could achieve much more. For I still believe in the idea of United Sordland. I appeal to your innate sense of honor and dignity as Swordish people. Elect me as your leader, and I promise that with the Lord on my side, and she's going Christian, and she's going religious. God damn it. I shall elevate this party and this glorious nation to the heavens. Mr. Rain, your time leading this country is through. I'm here to bring down the walls you built. Thank you. I'm Morna of Westcord. Should I applaud? I'm supposed to applaud, right? Dude, that speech was literally Nazis. The voting begins. I filled out my ballot, making an X next to my own name, and lined up to drop it in the ballot box. After all the votes were cast, we sat back down and waited for the announcement. After some time, Albin appeared on the stage again. Thank you, everybody, for voting today. The results are ready. After counting every vote, we have come to the conclusion. The winner of today's leadership vote is determined to be Liz Graff. The hall reverberated with thunderous applause. I congratulate our new leader and candidate for president. Couldn't believe it for a moment. My sight darkened. All I heard was the shouting, Lilius, Lilius. I couldn't focus. Everything became a blur. Are you okay, sir? The last time Lucian stopped calling me sir. I am fine. I need a moment. I sank down on my seat and sighed deeply. Sorry you didn't get to be vice president for longer. Well, you had a good run. I think I was lost. I must resign from politics entirely. I'm grateful you chose me at least. I still believe we can work together. I know what I'll do. I'll announce my resignation now. You know I'll support you. As long as we figure out a good plan. I'll start my own party and run for president again. I will continue politics in another party. Chat, we can change parties! Chat, we can change parties! We can change parties! I'm changing parties. I will continue politics in another party. I'll join the PFJP. Fuck, what's the PFJP? Is that the People's Front? On second thought, I can't see myself joining any other party. Fuck. Faction, Reformists. Reformists are the representative PFJP. People's Freedom and Justice Party. Fuck, I want the People's Front Party. Can I join the People's Front Party? I want to join the People's Front Party. Or is it the Popular Front? Fuck it, I'll switch over. I'll join the PFJP. I'll campaign for them and make sure Liz loses. If they win, maybe they'll give me an important position. I always felt closer to them. It was time I left the USP anyway. That is an interesting plan, sir. I support your decision. However, I don't think I'll be leaving the USP myself. I'm sorry. Thought you'd follow me anywhere. You're making my mistake by staying, Lucian. With all respect, I don't think you can think clearly after the party evicted you from leadership. There's no need for drama, sir. You lost and now you're angry. I get it. But as I said before, my political career didn't start with you and it won't end with you. Somehow I expected that I'd be alone in this. I wasn't sure if my plan would even succeed. I thought back on my many years in USP, then I thought about the future. I need to plan my next steps. Ah, God damn it! Fuck! Rain joins PFJP, endorses Richter. Talking about face, President Rain offered his endorsement to People's Freedom and Justice Party following his loss. Vowed to aid PFJP friends Richter in his presidential. Graff victorious at USP Congress. Liz Graff steals vote at USP Congress. Power Mad Spinster lied and cheated her way into grabbing a majority of member votes, despite the results clearly being illegitimate. The rest of the party is going along with Graff's charade. What? Will be putting her forward as a presidential candidate in the next election. Our sympathies lie with President Anton Rain, who gave an inspiring speech at Congress and in a fair world to be running for re-election. Rain backs Richter in desperate party switch. Oh, it looks desperate. With the election looming, I've practically been sleeping at the Maroon Palace lately, but tonight I made a deliberate effort to get home early. I told Monica and Deanna I want a full family supper. Just like in the old days, Monica had promised to cook something special. The usual crowd of protesters was waiting for me outside the gates of the complex. The guards formed a cordon to let me through. I hurried past them, went inside, and locked the front door behind me. I heard footsteps coming my way. Hi, Papa. Hug her. Opened my arms to embrace my daughter. She hugged me back happily. How was school today? Deanna shrugged. I won a prize at the science fair. Honestly, I think they were teaching girls different stuff before because they knew they were smarter than boys. Got them! You might be right. Deanna smiled. Mom is in there. I've got to do some homework before dinner. I followed her with my eyes as she went upstairs. She was starting to look more and more like her mother. I stepped into the kitchen. Monica was stirring a pot on the stove. Her back turned to me. Hug her from behind. I snuck up behind Monica and gave her a hug. She screamed and dropped her ladle. When she realized it was me, she smiled and gave me a kiss on the cheek. Sorry, Anton. I guess I've been on edge lately. Why don't you go fix yourself a drink in the living room? I'll let you know when dinner's ready. I sat down in the living room, poured myself a bit of whiskey, and flipped through one of Monica's women's magazines. Deanna came rushing back down the stairs and made a beeline for the coffee table. She picked up her pencil case. Almost forgot that. Frank never took his studies too seriously. What do you hear from your brother these days? Not much. He writes me letters sometime. Papa, are we bourgeoisie pigs? Have I have anything to do with it? Frank's just been spending too much time. Monica appeared in the doorway. She smiled at the two of us. Dinner's ready. The three of us gathered around the dining room table. Monica ladled out bowls full of zabla. The stew tasted as good as it smelled. Now that we're all here, I wanted to say something. Raise your glass. Tap on the side of your glass. Now that we're all here, I wanted to say something. I know the past 4 years have been hard on all of us. The past 4 years have been the hardest in my life. The past 4 years have tested our strength as a family. I was so busy focusing on the needs of the Sorge people that I sometimes forgot about Sorlin's most important people, my own wife and daughter. I know I haven't been there for either of you as much as I should have. I'm so grateful to the both of you for supporting me through it all. I'm so proud of us for getting through it all together. We deserve some time off together as a family. We deserve to celebrate. Monica's eyes were shining, and we'll have plenty of time for that because I'm retiring from politics at the end of this term. Once the election's over, I'm taking you both on holiday. Monica sighed heavily. Anton, I think you should quit politics, not just drop out of the election and retire. What, why? I can't. I've come too far. Honestly, I've been having similar thoughts. With everything that's happened, I don't think you belong in government. Of course, I don't want to lose the progress we've made for women, but I'm afraid that'll happen anyway. You being president, it hasn't been easy on any of us. Maybe we could go back to the way things were before. Okay, you made your point. Sorry, Monica. I gotta keep going. Monica's lips formed a thin line. You never did know when to give up. Can we finish dinner now? Of course, you two go ahead. I'm going to go into my study. Three of us finished our food in silence. Once we had cleared our plates, I went up to my study. I still have work to do. Ah! I'm pissing off the family chat. ATO declares world liberation manifestation. That's a response to the United Kantana's world revolution. Sometime later. Sorry, chat. All right, I'm heading to bed. Good night, Iris. Thanks for popping in. Hope you have a good veg. I hope work isn't too rough for you tomorrow. Oh, we're talking. We're talking. We're going to tuck you so hard. We're going to tuck you so hard that you're not going to be able to see the ad at the top of the hour. Because at the top of every hour, run a 3-minute ad. If you want to avoid the ads, you can pay $5.99 for a subscription or get lucky and get gifted sub. Or you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and get a free monthly subscription from Daddy Bezos to your favorite streamer. Hopefully it's me. If it's not me, then hopefully it's one of my friends. But here comes a 3-minute ad break now. Whew. Ugh. All right. Election speech. Soul Square. Whole sword. My timer is almost over. Oh. paced back and forth behind the stage, gathering my strength. This was the last major event before the election. A massive crowd awaited me. The biggest gathering of people we managed to assemble during my campaign. If my advisors were right, it would also be the largest ever assembled at Sold Square. Bordered by Holsword State University, Holsword Arts Sanctuary, the Library of Sorland, and the historic City Hall. Square could accommodate nearly 1 million people, and tonight it was packed. The noisy crowd rose up around me on all sides. Would I ever address so many people again? Suddenly music began, and it was Morgnas West Court, a famous sort of song about hope. The mornings will come. Friends announced my name and invited me to the stage. It was finally time to give the campaign speech to endorse the People's Freedom and Justice Party. In my dark gray suit and maroon tie, I walked up to the podium as the crowd started applauding. All around me, I saw a sea of PFJP flags and banners. It was as if people had painted the square blue. I took a good look at my former electorate. Brothers and sisters, I welcome all who have dared to come here and name a new beginnings, real change, and brighter future. Sorland doesn't belong to the USP, it belongs to the people. I must thank everyone who came here to support change during such a critical time. Yeah, Sorland doesn't belong to USP, it belongs to the people. Left the USP because true change was not possible with them. We needed a new movement. It is true the USP is overrun by old guard, and they brought me down too. I'm not going to deny that. USP didn't let me bring the real change the people are asking for, but now I am free. Now I do not stand here as a presidential candidate. I stand here as one of you. I may not be running this year, but I'm here to tell you that I made the right choice by leaving my old party. Even though I am not the candidate, I will do my best to help this party succeed. Now I do not stand here as a presidential candidate. I stand here as one of you. We need a change in the government. It's time we vote USP out. Let's unite against a new movement today. I promise you that we will be the voice of all sort of citizens. Let's unite again under a new movement today. With People's Freedom and Justice Party, Sorland will finally experience true democracy. PFJP is only an alternative. Under PFJP's government, Sorland will be prosperous again. Finally experience true democracy. I pause to take a breath, and hundreds of thousands cheer. The power you entrust upon us, the new administration will fight to serve the interests of the Sortish people. When I look to the future, I see that we will manage a lot together. Our achievements will never be forgotten. A government under our party will show this nation what steady, consistent, and principled leadership looks like. The power you entrust upon us, the new administration will fight to serve the interests of the Sortish people. 4 years ago, you and I began a journey together. Let's start a new journey now. Let's embrace change. Since 1954, swords have been given cliffs to climb. We found the tenacity to climb them. Now we can see the valley below. Just as I put Sorland first, my successors will continue to do so. Four years ago, you and I began a journey together. Let's start a new journey. Let's embrace change. We've made great progress. We are making progress, and there is still a lot more to do. Now it is our task to build a more hopeful Sorland, a Sorland that is confident in its ability to reach for the heavens. These changing times are full of excitement and opportunity, and here you face a choice. We have made great progress. We are making progress, and there is still a lot more to do. Our opponents' policies are dramatically different from ours. They oppose the change we're trying to bring to Sorland. The other candidate makes no realistic promises. Let them dream while we make things happen. That's why we need your help. Let's build a bold, prosperous, and forward-looking Sorland, United Sorland. Oh, look, 9 o'clock. My screen's flashed again. Our opponent's policy is dramatically different from ours. They oppose the change we're trying to bring to Sorland. Crowd booted other candidates. Now we have historic goals within our reach. We will keep building a more hopeful Sorland. Nobody can hold us back. We've come too far to abandon the dream we fought for after all these years. We must keep moving to the future we imagined in 1953. Why 9 p.m.? I have no idea. But for the last 5 streams, I've noticed that it's been 9 o'clock. Between 9 o'clock and 9:03. I'm going to update the drivers because I think it happened after my graphics drivers updated. Historic goals within our reach. We will keep building a more hopeful Sorland. Nobody can hold us back. We've come too far to abandon the dream we fought for after all these years. We must keep moving. The future we imagined in 1953. More than 30 years after the Sortish people seized the right to determine their own destiny, we still need to move forward to perfect our nation. I promise you will remind everyone that the Republic of Sworland is the greatest nation in the world. We're all fired up. We're ready to go. Real change begins now. We've been building our dream of Sworland and the great Swordist dream, and today in this square, that dream is renewed. Vote PFJP. Under Friends Richter's government, Sworland will be prosperous again. Vote Richter. Vote PFJP. Wait for the latest wave of applause to subside and pause for dramatic effect. God bless Sworland. Thank you. The morning will come. The morning will come. Amorgna Westcore. Rapturous careers echoed throughout the square. Everyone responded in vector Sista. Virgil came to the podium as I waved the crowd. Thank you, Mr. Rain. I believe our moment will give birth to our honorable future today. The future belongs to the swords, to Swordland. I don't want to use the words that every USP politician repeats, but it is true that the morning is finally coming. This time, however, victory is not theirs. It's ours. It's everybody's. So for the final time, Swordland, Amorgna Westcore. A thunderous applause erupted. Everyone responded in vector and Sista. He shook his hand and slowly left the stage as he continued speaking. That was it. My presidency was about to be over. I wondered if I could have achieved more in the past 4 years. The time had passed too quickly. Chat, election time. I don't think I'm going to win. Chapter 4, Checkmate. Election day, millions went out to cast their votes, setting turnout records in Sworland. Once again, your moment of truth had come. The United Sworland Party came out as the winner while the People's Freedom and Justice Party secured the second spot. Despite his promise, Friends pushed your name to the bottom of the MP list, leaving you outside the assembly. You had been forced out of politics. You were devastated by the betrayal. Maybe this was for the best. God damn it, chat. They fucked me. They fucked me! Devastated by the betrayal. You accepted the situation and retired from politics completely. It had been decades since you first entered the political arena. You did not know what else to do with your life. You decided to stay in Holsword, move to the coast of the Benfi, move to United Cantana. Yeah, let's go to United Cantana. No, we're not leaving. We're not leaving. We're helping make Sworland a better place. With a political career behind you, you began your new life in Holsword. You became an adjunct professor of politics at Holsword. Began writing a memoir. I guess I'll be a professor. Meanwhile, your wife became even more entrenched in her struggle for women's rights. Monica emerges as one of the fiercest opponents in the new administration, rallying thousands of Swordist women to fight for change. You vocally supported her. You stayed silent but agreed to look after Deanna as Monica spent more time in Maroon Palace. We've supported her. Your support buoyed Monica to new heights. People began referring to you as Monica Rain's husband. Years went by. You threw yourself into a teaching career as your presidency began to fade from Swordist memory. Frank, by now living with his wife and son on a commune in United Cantana, came to visit time to time. Life went on. 1965. Justin Orta's Swordist president retired after losing the election. You lived out the rest of your days in relative anonymity, helping Monica as necessary as she tirelessly pursued her cause. Your only regret was that you never got back into politics. You didn't fulfill the goals you set out as president. Actually, you had no regrets. Oh, chat. History will remember you as a Vlogslandian socialist. Dennis Stoller, leader of the Communist Party. Bernard Circus, poet and MP. Feda Ijal, leader of the WPB. Monsoon League independent MP. Deputy PFJ. Manoli Sahai. Peter Vectorn, dead fucking center. Peter Vectorn, dead fucking center. Ramus Holstrom, Nazi. Kasara Kibner, Nazi. Gloria Tori, I guess that's kind of Nazi. Tarkin Sol, he's a little leftist. No. This is bullshit. Liz Graff was literally a Nazi. She wasn't fucking left wing. That's crazy. Artur Whiskey, founder of the Republic. Friends Richter. Wait, what? Friends Richter was capitalist? What the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. Did I fuck up, chat? Did I fuck up? Did I back the capitalist? I'm so confused. Did I fuck up? Between 1954 and 1958, 1.6 million people lost their jobs. 81% fewer maternal and infant deaths were recorded. Based. 81% fewer maternal and infant deaths were recorded. Based. 13,438 people died to criminal violence. 15,440 people were arrested for their suspected ties to young swords. 102,345 conscripts joined the workforce. More than 15,899 people with Buddhist descent were released from prison. I mean, that's pretty good. 3,899 legal cases were delayed. I mean, that was kind of my fault. I fucked that up. 1,340 women won a domestic violence case at the courts, and 403,380 girls were enrolled at secondary education for the first time. Based. 81,340 companies declared bankruptcy. I mean, whatever. Private assets worth $10 billion were seized by the state. Based. 1,143 news articles were altered. Ugh. We did it, chat. We didn't get cooed. We didn't get cooed. Oh, they're named all ministers. This was a good game. It was well written. It was well written. I don't think there was any major like bad parts. It just sucks I had to read everything. That was kind of annoying. Kingdom of Rizia DLC. I don't know if I want to do that. This was a lot to stream on. Wait, if I load it, what is it? Wait, I can literally load it from the beginning? God damn it. Fuck. That's annoying. I could have loaded it from a different spot and corrected my mistakes. All right, let's fucking fly through it. Let's see if I can correct my mistakes. Since we're done with the game now, and I'm only 2 hours in the stream. And we've seen all these conversations already. Oh, this is like the very beginning. Middle income family. Years passed. Load. No, I lost everything. Fuck. Okay, let's try this again. You not fully understand. You were happy that you had a day off. You were somewhat worried. History class at school. The bell started ringing unexpectedly. You heard a lot of commotion outside as everyone tried to figure out what was going on. The principal announced the historic evolution. The kingdom was no more. The Republic of Swordland was born. Did not fully understand. You were happy that you did day off. Did not fully understand. Felt the weight carried and chose to shoulder even more. Oh, harder resources. That's why I got fucking destroyed. Months after the Republic was proclaimed, life around you changed. You watch friends and family face uncertainty and economic hardship. But I guess let's do easier resources and see what happens. Law at whole sword economics. Let's do history. During the first year, you attended a lecture with David Whiskey, who's a well-known diplomat for the foreign ministry, son of the president. Observing the hall in silence, he explained why realpolitik is important for a successful foreign policy. He argued that a strategy based on practical and material factors would be much more successful in reaching Swordland's ambitions. You agreed. You questioned what you were being taught. Your only concern was passing the exam. Agreed. Protest with the students. Suddenly soldiers charged. You held your ground. Soldiers beat you relentlessly. It was a gloomy year. political debate group. Coup split the students into 2 groups and caused frequent fights. Torture and imprisonment of any opposing voice became a daily routine. Dare you didn't want to stay idle and decided to join a human rights group. Her intelligence, her beauty, her intelligence. Monica. Tell her you wholeheartedly support her cause. More particularly interested in women's rights. Wholeheartedly support her. Join the Red Youth. Storm and plunge into chaos. Freedom, equality, and solidarity. Workers of the world unite. Bring down the nationalists. Workers of the world unite, obviously. Many nationalists were among them. You knew something was going to happen. You stayed. Oh, we're staying. We're fucking staying. Massive clash between the two sides. Tanks started rolling forward in this chaotic moment. We saw a young girl about to get run over by a tank. We tried to save her last time, but all our efforts were in vain. You never forgot her face. Oh, she dies regardless. Clash escalated in full-blown civil war. The Corps made you isolate yourself for a while. Monica helped you cope, and love grew between the two of you. However, it's a difficult time for love. Chaos. You voted for the United States. You did not vote. Charismatic Colonel Tarquin Sol orchestrated a sudden attack on the capital, where Ludernus and Ricardo's forces. Let's say I didn't vote. USP won the election by a large majority. It's time to serve your national duty. Devastating civil war from neighbor and whaling quickly turned into proxy war. You can see your breath. Distinguished Major Joseph Lancia let them slip through. Duties ended. You went back to civilian life. You and Monica decided to share your lives together after receiving the blessing of our parents during the same year. You worked hard to secure a high-paying job within the governing United Swordsland. It's much more difficult to start your career on a good foot because of the refugee incident, but you still managed. Working for the ruling party was the easiest path to power. Financial compensation too great. It was the best opportunity to change the country for the better. Yep. Climbing the ladder. President Tarquin Sol elected once more. Preparation of the comprehensive trade agreement with Agnolia was occupying most of your personal time, but your significant contribution to trade talks triggered an invitation to meet President Tarquin Sol himself, who offered you a key position. You become the youngest member of the assembly. You accepted with doubts. As the youngest MP, it was difficult to connect to the influential inner circle. You needed allies, so you brought on Peter Vector as your right-hand man. The birth of your son Frank provided a brief moment of joy and relief. You sacrificed work to spend time with your family. Sacrifice family time to improve your position in the party. Sacrifice work to spend time with your family. During your absence, Peter Vector found trustworthy contacts and strengthened your position in the party. At the same time, President Sol increased his authority over the years. His growing ego started to cause strife in the USP. President Sol barely secured a majority in the election against the opposition leader. Over the next year, Sorter's people grew increasingly discontented with corruption and the worsening quality of life. Economic growth was slowing down. Meanwhile, calls for a united watcher from the sidelines kept supporting the president. Join the internal opposition. I'm going to keep supporting him. See what happens. Contender for the party leadership, Ewald Alfonso, a reformist and talented business magnate with a growing follower base. President Sol noticed your attempts to secure votes for him and approached you with a lucrative deal. You had a meeting with him. The president offered you the position of Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade in the next government if you backed him in the upcoming vote. Accepted. Okay. Congress was nothing short of impressive. The banners of the United Swordsland Party were decorating every possible spot. Thousands of influential political figures, lobbyists, and benefactors voting for the party leadership began. You voted for Tarquin Sol. Fortunately, Tarquin Sol lost the leadership vote. Oh my God, if I would have supported Sol from the get-go, he would have fucking supported me. God damn it, that's all it took? That's all it took? Really? Damn it. During Congress, Sol announced he would retire from politics at the end of his term and appointed Alfonso as vice president. Systems he had established were to stay much longer. His achievements wouldn't be forgotten. You were happy that Sol was finally leaving. You were troubled. Let's say I'm troubled. A month later, your daughter was born. Monica named her Diana. Wait, why did Monica name her? Should we have both named her? Demotivated during a tumultuous period in the party as VP and the leader of the USP, Eduardo Alfonso began dismantling old organizations and structures established in the USP, such as strong educators corps and the sort of state corporation bills. General elections were approaching. The new United Switzerland Party was under new leadership. You joined the party effort and campaign. Did your best not to help him. Okay. During the general elections, the main opposition leader was embroiled in a sex scandal with his secretary. He was replaced by a more popular figure, Franz Richter, but the damage had been done. The new economic policies and the extensive privatization program proposed by Alfonso secured in the election over the following years did your best in order to make Switzerland a better place. Tried all that was necessary to climb up the ladder, dedicate yourself to the party and success. Did your best. The presidency of Alfonso saw many bold reforms in government and the law, advances in liberal democratic values. He valued your support throughout. However, due to infighting, disorganization, continental economic tensions, and the fast-track privatization, it was followed by a severe economic recession. The other parties announced their bids for 1953 election. Unfair election system hampered opposition efforts to campaign. You thought that your party could not survive another crisis. We were worried about the economic recession, worried that your reputation would be tarnished along with Alfonso. Peter's help. Your presence USP grew. Two of you worked long nights together. You flipped opponents on your side. You became the face of the new wing of the party. Step by step with the adequate planning, your wing took over the leadership. As President Alfonso lost control of the country in a moment. You blamed Alfonso for the crisis on television, bribed and extorted Alfonso's inner circle. Advised Alfonso to step down. You listened to your advice. Alfonso conceded the election struggle, and the party eventually voted you in because of your indisputable influence. Following this, you announced that you would be running for president in the general election. Peter's your running mate. Enact democratic reform. People are tired of empty promises. We need fundamental change in our institutions, government, solid, transparent. Okay. Okay. Rise to power. Okay. Done. President Reign. President Reign. Movie star, comrade, Millennius, red, cigar, oh, lesbian, Boxlandian pipe, yeah. There we go. Oh, let's do the thing. Promote planned economy. Yep. Align east. Global rivals between capitalists like Asia, the monarchy of the Roman Empire in the north, communists, yeah. In the east, yeah. Align east. Retain relaxed immigration. Term focus. Health. Okay. 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 Die was cast. Time of oath. I'm ready. Please repeat after me. Solemnly swear. Oh, shit. Thank you. Brothers and sisters. Change and hope. People have chosen together. We will bring prosperity and reform our nation. Time for hope. It's time for change. If we stand together, we prevail. Stand together, we prevail. In the past, there have been times of survival, times of conflict, and economic hardship too, but whenever we stood together, we prevailed. Promise you we will stop the recession and eliminate poverty. Future awaits us. It's time to turn the faces to the east. Rewrite our broken constitution. Time for united and powerful Swordland once again. Change now, not in the next decade or years today. Raise fist. Raise my fist. Nice to meet you, Serge. Okay. Just there we go. Okay. Current political. Celebrate then. Celebrate the inaugural ball, just hanging there until the evening. We've worked. Or this, Lucian arrives. Glad to see you, Lucian. There's Reformist. Oh god, I'm going through the whole game. This is a This is a bad idea. I'm not going to do this. This is going to drive me crazy. This is going to drive me crazy. I guess I can look up the various endings. Or see if there's a good YouTube video that we can react to. It has 9 endings. All right. So there's USP re-election, new political party election. To achieve this sub-ending, deliberately lose to Lilith Graff in the USP Congress by pushing anti-socialist policies and not arresting her for orchestrating the murder of Bernard Circus. Fuck! I can arrest her for that? God damn it. After losing, announce to your vice president that you'll form a new party for the election and hope that your own popularity will carry over to your new party, helping you to win the election. In this case, only Peter Vector and your original VP will follow you out of the USP. God damn it. I should have formed the new party. Fuck. I was trying to join the People's Front. Instead, Anton Reign achieves a second term and the game ends with the second inauguration. Achieved by keeping your public approval high by running a successful government by pulling the economy out of the recession. Properly balancing tensions in the country and other things. Winning the war against Rumberg guarantees re-election unless you get assassinated. Ending is achieved by making either oligarchs or bloods angry enough to assassinate you. This will always happen as a final speech prior to the election. It can be avoided by getting Surge's lucky charm before the reforms are passed in the assembly, or by establishing secret state police. Blues assassination, sub-ending, enrage the Blues with racist policies. This will eventually revolt and take over a dam. If you do nothing about it, Blues assassin will kill you during your final speech while screaming, "Gelag Blunderrat." Oligarch assassination, nationalize both, and do not send either SSP or ACP on them. Rumberg assassination, easiest sub-ending. In order to achieve the sub-ending, do not fire Livia Suno during the sex scandal and defeat Rumberg in the war. You'll be assassinated by Rumbergian as they scream, "Hail the Queen, glory to Rumberg." Lost election, you could potentially lose the 57 election to another party if you're unpopular. It's very hard to achieve this ending without either causing a coup, requiring a delicate balance between being unpopular and successfully ending the late game protests. Note that if you're likely to lose the election, Monica will ask you to retire, which will indicate that you are likely to get this ending. Fuck! You once again become an MP with the USP. If you support the opposition's reforms, you'll be stripped of your membership and retire in 62. New Hope, sub-ending your political party to successfully block Lilius Graff's attempt to reform the Constitution. The easiest way to achieve this sub-ending is deliberately destroy the economy towards the end game after successfully passing an ultra-reformist constitution, leading you to get kicked out of the USP. Oppose Lilius' constitution all the way to successfully achieve this sub-ending. Huh. Demoted Anton Reign defects to another party and later becomes vice president in 62. This can be achieved by losing to Lilius in USP primaries and defecting either PFJP, NFP, or the People's Front. Wait, I could have went to the People's Front? Wait, why didn't I go to the People's Front? Fucking A. Gets impeached and sent to life imprisonment, and in some cases sentenced to death and shot at dawn. Oh, God. Old Guard impeachment. Go down the autocrat road, accept Old Guard's offer to enact emergency powers, angering them. Corruption impeachment. If you form an anti-corruption police and send Carl to investigate a faction which you had made shady deals with, namely the Garachi bribe, and send it to the Old Guard or the many corrupt acts possible from the oligarchs, you will be impeached for abuse of power. If you do not appoint Lucien Galad as your vice president, lost chess game against them, and had done corrupt acts, he will expose and even forge evidence, resulting in your impeachment. Note that the sub-editing is much easier if Hawker remains Chief Justice. Wait, you can remove Hawker as Chief Justice? What the fuck? Dude, how did I miss so much shit? Tusk impeachment, you secretly deal with Marcel Caranti and side with him against Tusk, but do not adequately cover up your dealings. You may be impeached with the help of Tusk oligarchs. This can be avoided by arresting him. Early retirement. Anton retires after one term. To achieve the ascending, just play normally, avoid all corrupt dealings, and avoid the war with Rumberg. Tell your family to retire from politics at the last dinner scene. If you have a good shot at getting reelected, your family, especially Monica, would disapprove. But they will not force you to do so. You can choose to retire at Holsworth or go to Benfey. Path to exile. Path to exile. Oh boy. In this ending, Antoine Rain flees Swordland to spend the rest of his life in Kurit. This can be achieved by giving territory to Runberg and then running away to Kurit as quickly as possible. Yo, there's a lot of choices in this game that we didn't get. Family exile. Do not divorce Monica and tell your family you need to run away as quickly as possible as the military is after them. Dana will later become a prominent politician in Kurit. Peter exile. Divorce Monica but keep Peter as vice president. He will run off to Kurit with you, and you two will spend the rest of your lives in Kurit partying. Solo exile. Divorce Monica and either imprison or have Peter commit suicide. You'll be able to run away yourself and later meet Thomas Sacker, who interviewed when you were president. You will later publish a memoir, Suzerain. Coup d'etat. Reign gets couped by the military as it dissolved the national government. This ending can be avoided by purging the military and dictator run. Increasing their funding also effectively blocks this ending unless you manage to screw up horribly. Ending also sees an unknown woman writing a biography about you before revealing yourself as Carol Circus, the daughter of the deceased poet and politician Bernard Circus. Joseph Coup. Revolts a spiral out of control. Reveal yourself as a communist too early. Piss off the military, cede territories. Joseph's coup is the most common coup ending. Shit, I think I had a good ending, chat. Falcon coup will either massively alienate the military by decreasing the spending or not respecting him. And ceding territories to Rumberg guarantees a sub-ending unless you flee the country. Hail the Queen. Lose the war to Rumberg by either being ill-prepared or having a failed military strategy. You will either be killed while fighting against the oncoming Rumbergian soldiers, be executed after you attempted to stab Beatrice, or die in Rumberg. Yo, I could have stabbed Beatrice. World at war. Ally with one of the superpowers and declare war against Rumberg. Due to Rumberg's nuclear capabilities, a thermonuclear apocalypse will ensue, killing you and a lot of other people. Huh. I think I had a good ending, chat. Fuck, I wish I would have saved. I kind of wish I didn't restart that now. And I could create my own party. I think I had a good ending despite the things that. So can I load? Yes, I can. I mean, I think so. Completed. Wait. All right, let's form a new party and see what happens. I feel like I did the same thing for Cyberpunk too. Chat, give me a second. I gotta get water and I gotta take stuff out of the washer to dry because I need it for work tomorrow. Sorry, chat. I also need to throw another load of laundry in. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Okay. Oh, that's the election speech. That's not where I wanted to load. Turn 10. That's where I wanted to load. And then I could give my rousing speech again. Chat, I'm going to bring up this thing that I'm reading here. How to leave the USP and join some leftist party, and why did Richter betray me in the epilogue? Pretty good run just now. Pro-British possible. Tended to join the commie party and become the vice president. Had to retire. First of all, how do I get the option to join the commie party? I only had the option to join the PFJP. Despite being turbo socialist overall, I lowered the election threshold to 8. As I was pretty sure if I lowered it to 3, the left fractures and neither party gets into the assembly. When they have to reach 8, they become a coalition. Secondly, after joining PFP, why did Richter betray me? I spoke well of him, but the USP won anyway. PFJP was second, and Richter placed me at the very end of the list, so I didn't get in the assembly. Yeah, that's what I got. We reformed the Constitution together, but when he demanded credit, I said he's bluffing. Giving credit to him. Need to limit the assembly 10% to join the left party, because with the limit, the communists and the worker party of Bludia enter coalition, you can join the coalition. But they created the party anyway. When he said that 3%, 8% CPS and WPP don't enter a coalition, fail to join the assembly. What? I'm so confused. Oh God, I have to go through the fucking Champions Cup again. Can I just fast forward through this? Fuck you, Lucian, you backstabber. Go through that conversation again. Say real deep down inside, you know I'm right. You're talking past me, not to me. Do I and Carl prefer to watch the match in silence? Keep watching. Shut up, Oswaldo. I'm gonna stay silent. I'm just gonna let it happen. No need to sympathize with him. Faith in our team. Everything's fine. Yada, yada, yada. Yada, yada, yada. Not even halftime yet. Decide not to speak. Appreciate your gravity. You need to put my name there. Helps with the donations. That's because I'm fucking popular. Even true. Personality. I didn't need to build a cult for myself, Suzerain. I built a republic. You rebuilt it in your own vision. What do you mean? Let's get in a hand. Oh, please, we know that you're still trying to pull the strings. Now you just sound paranoid. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm fucking paranoid. Honestly, I couldn't care less. Of course you don't. That's because it's their opinion. Okay. Read the report. God, I gotta go through the lines of nations again? Fuck. Glad to be among them. True friend. Appreciate the advice. Let's see. Joining with the pounding. I think that's true. Honestly, it was always likely to happen, but so soon after the occupation, I didn't expect that. Dave looked concerned. Bunch of horseshit. Wayland's not even a socialist. Pound and protest. Look at the theatrics. Empty argument doesn't justify. We're not the only ones. Popular Rica. He looks pissed. He looks pissed. Join the pounding. Look at the old man go. What does he think he's doing? Speak up in support of Hegel. Oh, we're speaking up. Hegel has the right to intervene. Thank you, Mr. President. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I don't know what his response was to me. Honestly, he's completely right. Do you think so? He's not entirely wrong? Correct. He's right. Stand up and applaud. Okay. Let's first hear her out. Grand Awakening. Sounds like a threat to me. Thank you, President. We're going through it quick, chat. We're going through it quick. Which one did I choose? Stress the importance of these words, alliance to nations, noble ideas, not free from fear. More important than ever, set aside our differences, unite this charter. Benefit or detriment of mankind. Address the topics. Deeply saddened by the tragic events took place in condemn small crimes against the British people. Everyone stands together with the British people. Mr. Van Horten. Claims from Claims from Malvinas terror. All I see is neocolonialism and imperialism terrorizing underdeveloped nations. Switzerland do whatever it takes to achieve peace. In any case, Switzerland stands and will stand together with the CAP. Vagzland only wishes to achieve freedom for the people of the world. Switzerland sympathizes with the noble cause. Queen of Rumburg. Talk about a hypothetical threat. A nation posted on Merkapa. Rumburg's military has tripled in the last decade. Real threat is eastern Merkapa has always been Rumburg. Today it's still the cause. Never recognize your vile words against us. Condemn your actions. Speech. We wanted to be diplomatic when Rumburg shot down our plane. Strong evidence. Rumburg. Military groups Switzerland being financed and armed. Another important piece of the evidence we have provided us by someone close to the Rumburgian government. Hailstone. I probably shouldn't mention the whistleblower's name, I guess. Service duty. Following the lines of the nation support Switzerland, we are facing investigation. Thank you for listening. Wish to see resolution. Bring my speech to a close. And can no longer fail to recognize the machinations of enemies of peace. Long live the Alliance of Nations. Cannot be any more procrastination or delay. Wish to the people of the world. Long live the People's Revolution. More now, West Corps. Hegel raised his fist. Vectern Zista. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wait, I'm confused. Is he speaking Swedish? Heard thunderous applause from half the assembly. Raise your fist. Raise it. Walk back to my seat. David did not stop applauding. Thank you. Okay. We're through it. Support to Hegel. Why would I applaud his speech? Now they ever laughing. Laughing, of course. Yes. See, I guess that was good to know that Ridiculous went to the choice between the laughing and Melania's comment. Great news. Hope he means it. Think Rubber can pursue any more aggression after that statement? I doubt that with our membership in the CSP and Katana's clear support, the Queen needs to be crazy to try. Long live the revolution. That was a great speech. Stand up and applaud his speech. Long live the revolution. Mr. President, what are you doing? That was a lot. It definitely was. Quite scary. Okay. God damn it, chat. There's so much shit that happens this turn. I'm so confused on how they're like creating a people's front though. I probably don't need to read this. Meeting with David. Come in. Anything for you? Fine, thanks for asking. Thank you for valuable advice. Wouldn't it be possible without you? I will do whatever I can to leave a good world for the ones who come after us. Yep. I am diehard. Good to know we'll win no matter what. Good, what leader said. Go on. Can't accept this. You're irreplaceable. Sorely missed. Good mentor, teacher. Yep. We've done all this. Hug them. Hug them. We're huggers. We're huggers, chat. Anton Rain is a hugger. He's a hugger. He be hugging. Friday afternoon in the office. Oh, they're all resigning. Exactly what it looks like. We're resigning from our position in the cabinet. We have our own reasons, but we simply cannot go anymore. But why? What are your reasons? You're betraying me. Talk to me. What can I do? How can I help you better? Think you've been a pleasure. Get fucked, Gus. Get fucked, Gus. I shouldn't be nice to them. I should be a fucking dick to them. Because they were assholes. All right, finally, chat. We're getting to it, and we're going to form our own. Hi, Surge. Hi, Surge. Honestly, it doesn't know anything. Picked her to get a conservative support. Still, I would never bite the hand that fed me. Thank you, Surge. Let's do this. Of course I will. Thank you, Albin. Brothers and sisters. Did my best. We got our responsibility to fix our constitution. People wanted reforms from us. We did our best to deliver. Blues craft old guard stood in our way. Here to do more, bring meaningful change. I'm going to continue our fight. Promise to bring recession under control. What have achieved my first term cannot be denied. Oh. Unite under the flag one more time. Do not fall for Ms. Graf's lies. She betrayed our trust by leaving a very important office. Oof. Don't think she could provide an alternative. Give control of this party to a woman. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you, Ari. Give me your support. Let's bring this country together. Know to do the right thing. I'd like to be again so we continue our great transformation. Morgan on West Corps. God, she went fucking Nazi and religious. Screw you, Lilies. Fuck it, I'll applaud for her. You okay, sir? For the last time, Lucian, stop calling me sir. Any moment. Take down on my seat. Had a good run. Can't tell if you're being sarcastic. What do you do now? Surprised my political career didn't start with you and won't end with you. Yes, I will be going. Of course not. then you know I'll support you. As long as you figure out a good plan, I'll start my own party and run for president again. Call it People's Party. Democratic Party is Sterling Marine Party. Swordfish Prosperity Party. Do my best to make sure Lilius doesn't become president. Can as hard as I can to get elected again. Try my chances with that. High time Sterling had a new political movement. Support your decision. I don't think I'll be leaving the USP. I'm sorry. So you followed me anywhere? Okay, I got my own party now, chat. Hugger. A school. Might be right. We're from behind. She freaks out. We hear from her brother these days. Papa, are we bourgeoisie pigs? Not if I have anything to do with it. Got him. Well, here I wanted to say something. Raise your glass. Test our strength. Grateful, both of you. Deserve to celebrate. Plenty of time for that because I'm retiring from politics. Holiday. Can't come too far. Honestly, some of those thoughts. Sorry, Monica, I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going, Monica, damn it! I gotta keep going! Of course. Main focus. Well, we did healthcare, so now is the time to do education. Oh, does this change the whole thing? So this probably, so me starting my own party probably changes everything. Oh my God, do I fucking debate her? Presidential candidates to debate. Oh my God, I get to debate her. We expect tensions to be high. Rain stabs USP in the back. Founders People's Party. People's Party appears to have a millennious bent. Oh shit, it's happening, chat. Graph victorious at USP. Wave Rise the Nation, strike Rain administration. Fucking assholes. Stab me in the fucking back. Future Rain cabinet. This graph challenges Sterling to hold first ever televised presidential. What? Steals vote. Hope is not lost in today's Communist Party rally. CPS leaders Dennis Stoller made a speech to the largest crowd ever assembled. Tens of thousands came together in Valgan as a gift of support to CPS. Rain breaks from old guard, runs as independent. Cautiously optimistic about this after Lilius graph successfully. Okay. So we finished the game, but with this run, it's different. See, I wanted to join the People's Front. So the People's Front does combine. I don't understand. I made it 3%. Do you think that's the percentage of chatters that don't avoid the top of the hour ad break? Because the top of every hour around a 3-minute ad. If you want to avoid the ads, you can pay $5.99 for a subscription. Or get lucky and get gifted a sub. Or link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Get a free monthly subscription from Daddy Bezos to your favorite streamer. Hopefully it's me. If it's not me, then hopefully it's one of my friends. But here comes the 3-minute ad break now. Woo! Huh. Anyone who would prevent Sola's figurehead Graf from seizing control of the Swordfish government has got our vote. It took courage for President Rain to separate himself from the forces who have held power in Marine Palace for so long. Hope is not lost. ATO CSP sanctions Rumberg. Swordfish foreign minister retires Arcasius. It's forward motion. Firm possesses nuclear weapons. Presidential debate. Oh, let's fucking do this, chat. Makeup girl dusted my cheeks one last coat of powder as the lights of the Swordfish Broadcasting Company studio flickered to life. Back during the 53 election, I debated my political opponents on the radio. Not a debate was to be televised like everything else these days. Check your reflection. Take a sip of something strong. Pull out a pocket mirror, looked at my face. I didn't remember all those wrinkles being there 4 years ago. Have a seat. Took my place in one of the uncomfortable wooden chairs next to the moderator's desk beside the other presidential candidates. Moderator walked in and sat at her desk. I recognized her as a former SBC reporter I'd encountered on a number of occasions. She nodded to me and the others. We'll begin in just a few minutes. I'm looking forward to an evening of polite and civil discourse. One can only hope. Where's the fun in that? Just don't forget who you work for. Oh, I'm not going to say that. She smiled at me gratefully before turning back towards the cameras. After a quick countdown, we were live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Swordfish Broadcasting Company is pleased to welcome all candidates in the 1957 Swordfish presidential election. To my left, Anton Rain, the incumbent president of Swordland. Glad to be here. I'm Ward Westcore. All right, Lilius Graf, former interior minister and leader of the USP. And protector of the legacy of Tarkin Soul. Lest we forget, I'm looking forward to your questions. Friends Richter, leader of the PFJP. New era of freedom and justice is about to begin. Kasara Kibner, leader of the NFP. Oh, God, they got Nazis in here, chat. Monsoon Leak of the Bluish Workers' Party, formerly an independent assembly member. Indeed, great Fede Ajal and I once dreamed of the lasting peace of Bludia and Swordland. After his departure, I've recommitted to the dream into my party. Last candidate, Dennis Stoller, the Communist Party. And of the People's Front Coalition, together we will not be silenced. The poor and downtrodden of Swordland will unite and rise up. He and Monsoon exchange nods. Now that everyone's been introduced, let's proceed with questions. I'd like to begin by giving President Rain a chance to speak about his decision to form a new party. What exactly does the People's Party have to offer that USP did not? USP has forgotten who it serves, the Swordish people. With my new party, everyone will have a voice. In a word, money. The USP has a chokehold on the economy for too long. It's time to give Swordish businesses a chance to thrive. Jesus Christ. USP has forgotten what the S and its name stands for. The new party will be Swordland first. Oh, God. USP is stuck in the past. I founded a new party to turn Swordland into a modern competitive nation and destined to be. Everyone's going to have a voice. If you really wanted Swordland to have a chance at democracy, you would have endorsed PFJP after your Congress lost. PFJP is too globalist for me. I want to keep the focus on Swordland. PFJP is too capitalist for my taste. To be honest, I just plain don't like the PF too capitalist. Fair enough, there's room in assembly for both our parties. In fact, moderate a motion for silence. On to the next question. President Rain had already outlined some of his second-term plans. What about the rest of you? What will your first priority be when you take office? You already know what I'm going to say. President Rain has pointed us in the right direction, but only PFJP can transform Swordland into true democracy. I will work hard to pass constitutional reforms that he cannot. So Richter is just like a neolib. I guess he's not a neolib. He's just a fucking libertarian capitalist. Sorry, cleared his throat. This president had cracked down on the enemies of the state who are threatening to tear his country apart. Separatist militants, foreign agents, criminal cartels. We shall show them all the meaning of the Swordfish justice. Unbelievable. This simply proves the point I was about to make. While President Rain has made great strides in dismantling the mechanisms of repression in Swordland, the hateful attitudes that built them are still very much present. We will never be free as long as minorities and women are still seen as second-class citizens. And of course, the number one mechanism of oppression is capitalism. Base. One could say that, but... Okay, let's move on. This graph. Also, I feel like this Dennis Stoller guy is just going to be a fucking horrible... He's going to be a horrible debater. And he's just going to keep saying capitalism bad. Without any, like, good substantive, like, points. Strikes me that none of my opponent's grand plans are possible as long as the country is still vulnerable to threats from within and without its borders. I'm just committed to Swordland security as I was the Minister of Interior, and I'll devote my presidency to strengthen that security. Thank you now, President Rain. You've already pledged to make education a focus of your second term. You've already pledged. Would you care to elaborate on that? I don't need to. My decision speaks for itself. Devoting more resources towards education already paid enormous dividends during my first term. Why stop now? Without an educated populace, Swordland is doomed to be stuck in the past. It's simple as that. Yeah. Give this man a chance and he'll continue to warp your children's minds with his progressive education reforms. I asked the president a question. I did ask for criticism of his policies. Moving on. Mr. President, just prior to the night's debate, your press office signaled that there could be a grander plans to serve for his second term. Is that correct? Yes, I can't wait to unveil them. Please go on. Once Swordland put a man on the moon, Swordland must develop a nuclear arsenal. We grant a basic living wage to every man and woman in Swordland, unemployed or otherwise. Based. Can't surround me gas, except Monsoon and Dennis, who looked pleased. I'm happy some of our party's so-called radical ideas are beginning to filter in the political mainstream. You're both mad, disincentivizing work will crater this country's economy. Laugh all you want, I'm going to make it happen. Citizens will still work. My plan will will only ensure that nobody has to go homeless. Okay. Hi, Tish. Hi, Tish. How are you? Guaranteed income storage people will spend as never before. The economy will thrive. Very interesting. Let's move on to the economy then. Sure, many of our viewers would like to know how Buchanans are planning on ending the source depression. I lost my streak. No! I'm sorry, Tish. Thank you for asking. President Rain's mishandling of our economy has left millions of working class Swords, especially minorities, in need of urgent, immediate aid. First step is suspension of rent and mortgage payments and ban on evictions. Then we would move on to job creation through public works programs. I couldn't agree more that Sutherland needs to help its working families, which is why I've developed a comprehensive program of tax initiatives for small businesses. Okay, he's a neo-lib, chat. I'll also implement a market economy in Sutherland with state intervention as necessary to ensure... Dude, why did I not know this shit about this fucking Franz Richter guy? I like his shirt. That's a good color. I like that color less. Yeah. So we talked about it at the very beginning of stream. I kind of went off on chat because this happens every time I wear red. They're like, oh, you're so orange. You're so orange. And then I have to discuss, no, it's a color change. It's red. And then it's a color change. And it's literally every time I wear this fucking shirt. Every goddamn time I wear this fucking shirt. So I kind of went off a little bit. And I had to point out, like, it's the filter. It's the goddamn filter. Every fucking time. Sorry. No, it's not you, Tish. It's not you. I just wanted to inform you. Because I also thought you would find it funny. Anyway. Of course, I would immediately undo the president's nationalization of major corporations. Massive potential in our country's economic capacity. I would push for autarky and transferring technological knowledge to our local industries. Sutherland must control all strategic resources of production, be as independent as possible from foreign influences. He looked at the camera. We must increase our economic capabilities and then turn our goods into quality and affordable export materials for other developing nations. I would also impose high taxes on the rich to fund military, industrial research and development. Leah sniffed. Getting the full cam and just a look scares the shit out of me. What about this? Does this scare you too? Being this zoomed in, that you could see my eyes like this. Does this scare you too? Depression is but a minor bump on the road to greatness. As long as we keep the government's firm hand on the steering wheel of our economy, this country will be proper as never before. Sending me back to middle school, my teacher yelled at me. Dude, Kat has the same thing. Kat has the same problem when I yell and I get angry. She even used the nego leave, which Ari will be adjusting. So we have a true nego leave and a nego arrive. Now that Tish, thank you so much for giving us so many gifted subs. We now have more emote slots. So we are going to add 2 more animated emotes. And I think we have like 7 more slots or something like that. Fortunately, yelling men are terrifying. How could you be terrified of this face, Ari? Why would you be terrified of this face? Look at this. It's so cute. It's so cute. Don't you think it's so cute? How could you be terrified of this? Yeah, more emotes. This is true. True. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Also, I don't think that came off as cute as I was trying to make it. I mean, I'm not just... Keep in mind. I was saying in general. It means continuing to play an economy as Solon intended. Depression is but a minor bump on the road to greatness as long as we keep the government's firm hand on the steering wheel of the economy. I'm confused. My ex was the cutest person ever. He never yelled at me, but I was so scared whenever he was mad. Your face is too squishy to be scared. Yeah, when I get pissed off, I'm very determined. I'm very determined at making things right. Chat, I think I got sunburn right here. Oh, you probably can't tell because of the coloring. But I think I got sunburn there. Like on this one part of my forearm. I think I missed that part, and then baseball slid up my sleeve slid up the arm. Seizing the assets of Switzerland's wealthiest corporations so that oligarchs can no longer hold more power than the state. I agree they must be stopped. The oligarchs are the engine that keeps our economy running. I agree. White people problems. Angry men are scary. That's all. Also, oh no. Okay. So, I got a question. If I'm angry about capitalism, is that scary? If I'm angry about capitalism, is that scary? Or is it relieving seeing somebody else being angry about capitalism? It's like, I'm pretty angry all the time because the world sucks. Body clear throat. We're getting off track. Mr. President, would you care to comment on your plans for the economy? As I said earlier, my plan, guaranteed living wage for everyone, will lead to unprecedented prosperity. Next question concerns Switzerland's foreign relations. Non-incumbent candidates, would you maintain the international alliance President Rain has formed? Certainly not joining CSP was President Rain's biggest mistakes. I mean, I know you well enough to know you're not actually angry, and you're usually angry about the right things. Yeah, so like, if I'm angry about the right things, is that scary? But it's not impossible to cut ties and regain the trust of Arcadia and ATO. I can't believe we're even in the same party. Then it's turned to look at me. Rain and I have had our disagreements, but not on this. We must continue to march arm in arm with the Socialist brothers. Socialist brothers and sisters. Sure. And MBs. And MBs. And MBs. Plus, it's easier when you're not right in front of me. True. But I'm kind of right in front of you here. On your TV. Sure, the point is, let's move on to the next candidate. Dude, they're cutting off the fucking communists? Let him speak. Thank you, Mr. President. I was getting to stress that the superficial surface benefits of ATO are nothing compared to the deeper bonds cultivated by a membership of the CSP. But I do admit, when you do serious face and zoom in, it is a little scary. I literally do the zoom in for comedic timing. I do the zoom in for comedic timing. I would add that we would be unfairly ignoring the newly emancipated nations from Rica and Xena. Aiding these countries as they find their feet would strike a blow against the forces of colonialism and could prove beneficial to us as well, if I may. Can't speak for everyone, but the trauma I've associated with angry men means that I get freaked out anytime a man is angry and physically in front of me, yelling or saying things in a very intense, harsh tone, or using a lot of intense phrasing in your words. That's fair. I get it. I get it. Yes, this is what I was getting at. Tish is very tough. That's fair. Like, I don't... Like, everybody has... Women and MBs have enormous PTSD from angry men. From people that look like me. Right? And that's, like, the big part of why I created the YouTube channel and the Twitch stream. Because, like... It needs to be shown that there's people that look like me that are supportive of others. That are supportive of others and supportive of not fucking exploiting people and not treating people like dirt. Like, they need to see somebody that looks like them saying like, hey, be a good person. Be a kind person. Doesn't really matter if they're angry about the right thing or not. Very tough indeed. W goes, I do what I can, Tish. Like the time we taught you about women pretending to be nice in public for their own safety. Yeah. Yeah. That's just like something that I didn't even think about, if I'm going to be honest with you. Because I've never had that life experience. Yeah, Ari, exactly. You smile and be polite and hope they leave you alone without getting mad that you aren't giving them what they want. Yeah. I'm not going to say that shit has never crossed my mind, but I didn't think it was... as prevalent as you all had implied. Anyway, back to the game. All this talk of East and West, socialists and capitalists is missing a point. Super prevalent. Well, I'm glad that you guys have taught me that, and that I'm always looking to improve and always learning to learn to become a better person, regardless of if it's a guy or girl or MB. For real, I have to reveal the dark side to you, Ghosty, but it is needed to be known because I know you're a good dude. Cats did a stinky poop. Oh no, Tish. Appreciate you. I appreciate your appreciation, Ari. I don't appreciate that your cats did a stinky poop, though. Of course, I would advocate for staying on good terms with Arcadia, but Sorlin's strongest ties must be our tribal cousins in Bogsland and Agnolia. Together, we conquered lands of rum so many centuries ago, and together, we who are pure of blood will rise up and reclaim this continent. Dude, that's some Nazi shit. Pure of blood, I wonder what that means. Nice sentiment. Shame we can't ally with Vogsland and Agnolia at the same time. Pure of blood, I wonder what that means. Strategic alliances are all well and good, but the president Raymond would practically give Leon Maliniev the shirt off his back. Ew, pure of blood? Yeah. We must endeavor to stay in the good graces of both superpower while asserting Swordland's strength and independence. That's all the time we have for that question. Just want to point out that no Swordlish president has managed to garner the attention of a superpower before, let alone ally with one. Might I just add that my decision to join CSP likely saved us from having to go to war with Rumberg? Of course, thank you, Mr. President. Next topic is a personal interest to many people watching at home. Gonna burp. Burp. Good luck with stinky poop. Wake up President's recent legislation. Do you plan to act further to increase women's rights? I'll stop you right there. You can't expect a man to know what's best for Swordish women. The laws passed under his administration will cause more harm than good as generations of young swords grew up motherless. Because husbands aren't allowed to beat their wives anymore, a little hyperbolic, don't you think? I've consulted intensively with my deputy, Manoli Sulhel, on this. With the PFJP in power, we would expand on Reigns' laws and help unprecedented numbers of women enter the Swordlish workforce. More women in the workforce sounds nice on paper, but it's unfortunately not as simple as that. Look at the countries like Arcadia. The women in high-paying jobs are those privileged enough to hand off their domestic duties to household staff. As your president, I would create policies specifically aimed at women from disadvantaged communities so that no female sword is lifted up at the expense of another. Makes a lot of sense. Remind me to consult with you on this during my next term. Shortish women are doing just fine. I don't know what you all are on about. Shh, the grown-ups are talking. That's fucked up. That's so fucked up. Makes a lot of sense. Remind me to consult with you on this during my next term. Oh my God. Dude, I am rizzing so hard right now. If you win a second term, I will. Anything to add, Mr. President? Would it achieve unprecedented rights for Swordland's women had certain individuals not blocked me? Swordland will not give in to the demands of a few radicals who must hold firm. Over the next 4 years, my amazing Women's Rights Commission will finish the work they started. That brings me to the next question. Dude, Lilius is such a fucking cuck, saying like women deserve to, or women should stay in the household. Like, is not being said by a woman who is a fucking politician. Make it make sense. If you have those beliefs, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? If you have those beliefs, what are you doing here? Wait, you think that men should be running the world? Shouldn't you be listening to me? Huh, Lilius? Shouldn't you be listening to me? According to your own fucking beliefs, that women are supposed to be in the household? Shouldn't you be listening to me? Like, that's the shit that doesn't make any sense. Like trad wives and stuff like that. You're still working. Trad wives, like the internet trad wives and stuff. She's a little backwards. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. His next question, what about the status of Swordland's minorities, speaking particularly the Bloods? Proud to say, under my administration, the Bludish community has been given a voice. Work I've done to further the Bludish cause was just the beginning. We still have a long way to go. Signal the moderator to skip the question. I'd like to yield the floor to Mr. Leak. Oh, that's actually probably a good one. Mouse students took his head, sadly. President Rain was only able to grant the British people a small modicum of justice by exercising his executive powers. This has not magically erased centuries of anti-British settlement. I'm sure you recall that one of his very first acts in office was effectively shut the country's only British party off from the campaign funding. Yeah, I fucked that up. The president had a perfectly good explanation for that. I fucked it up. Regardless, electing Sterling's first leader of the British descent would help to create a bridge of lasting peace between our communities. For someone who's against the different treatment of races, you seem to put one race ahead of the other. His eyes focused on him. Sterling must be led by capable people who understand and can represent the majority of the population. This has been the case since our great country was founded. I find it very dangerous that merits are thrown out the window in support of agenda of blinded thought. Prince Morley cut in. I'll spare you viewers another of NFP's racist tirades based. As you can tell, xenophobia is alive and well in Sterling despite the president's best efforts. I will work with WPB to ensure British people get the equal status they have been denied for so long. Yes, we will all work together. Good luck getting this. Emily, agree with that. Your so-called democracy will result in the British people losing their rights. I have one for them. Yeah, he is a capitalist. Gentlemen, Lily's voice was syrupy sweet. Surely there's a compromise between meeting the demands of violent militants and oppressive innocent civilians in a way that only incites further violence. To speak more generally, haven't we all had enough upheaval of promises of radical change, of having check newspaper headlines daily to make sure our country is still intact? Bro, she's running on it can't get better for you. She's running on no, things can't get better. God damn it. She's a horrible candidate. Dude, this is Hillary Clinton. Holy shit, this is Hillary Clinton. I just realized this is Hillary Clinton. Sorry. This is mimicking Hillary Clinton because it said that this is fiction. Isn't it too late to go back to the way things were under the USP? The glorious Republic envisioned by Tarkin Soul can still become a reality. You may or no Tarkin Soul. Thousands suffered under Soul. We cannot go back to that. What are you even talking about? It made Sterling more stable than ever. Oof. You may or no Tarkin Soul. Got him. No, I disagree with certain of the Colonel's more brutally oppressive policies. I shall bring Soul's core values into the more enlightened, morally correct administration. You've gone over your speaking time, Ms. Graff. Liz neatly folded her arms and sat back in her chair. It appears we have time for one last question. President Rain, given this country's rather turbulent political history, will you accept the results of the election, whatever they are? What kind of question that? Of course, I'll accept the results. I will respect what the people of Sterling decide. Accept the results when the USP voted me out, didn't I? Yes, but I pledge I will never stop fighting for my beliefs. Yeah. Mere fact that you have to ask that question is proof that Sterling is far from the democracy. It must. What? I have never done anything. I've never done anything to show that I don't believe the votes. Such a disrespectful question asked the sitting president. The leader of Sterling shall stay in power for however long its people and God will. Couldn't have said that better myself. That's the reason I left USP. There is a God, you will never become president. Oh my God, should I throw the daggers? She's well within her right to ask that. The president must never be elevated above anyone else. Yeah. Right, I'd like to end the evening by allowing each candidate to make a short closing statement. My party spent years shut out of assembly while the voices of thousands of swords were denied. It is time for a new way forward. The People's Front is the future Sterling deserves. Join our coalition. We promise equality for every man and woman, every blood and sword. I know Sterling is ready for democracy under the PFJP. You will enjoy a freedom you have never known before. Oh. People of Sterling, I have watched this man lead our country astray. Place your trust in me, and I will put us back on the path the Lord chose for us. Oh. God, she's saying religion and shit too. God. For Sterling that truly belongs to its own people, there is only one way to vote. President Rain. Ray said everything I need to say. Thank you for a pleasant evening, people of Sterling. We have only just begun. A new day began to dawn. We must not abandon what we started. Very well. Thanks to all the candidates for your time. The Sorters Broadcasting Corporation wishes all the viewers a good evening. Promotion to the crew, and the camera stopped rolling. Chat, I gotta throw stuff in the dryer. I'll be right back. We'll continue to the next one. Okay. All right. I think it's election time. Election speech? Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Time to give my big speech again. My name was announced. It was finally time. Dark gray suit and maroon tie walks up to the podium as the crowd applauded. Around me saw a sea of People's Party banners and flags. It was as if people had painted the square red. Took a good look at my electorate. People of Suzerain, brothers and sisters. Welcome all who dare to join me in the name of the new beginnings, real change, and brighter future. Believe the birth of the new party will also give birth to an honorable future, a future that belongs to us. Thank everyone who came here to support me. Real change and a brighter future. Left USP because true change was not possible with them. We needed a new movement. Not long after I began serving as your president, it became clear I could not accomplish my goals by working with the USP. Same corrupt old guard still controls the party no matter who is elected leader. USP didn't let me bring the real change that people are asking for, but now I am free. I'm free! So when Alfonso left the country in shambles, I did all I could to make things better. My political opponents blocked me at every turn, but in the end I survived. With the new party, USP and its constant distractions will be a distant memory. Suzerain is too complicated a country for a president to make a difference in a single term. That's a horrible answer. So when Alfonso left the country, I did all I could to make things better. Political opponents blocked me at every turn, but in the end I survived. When Alfonso left the country in shambles, did all I could to make things better. Now I stand stronger than ever before, ready to continue what I started. Let us unite again under a new movement today. Promise you I will be the voice of all citizens. Stand stronger than ever before, ready to continue what I started. People's Party, the people of Suzerain will finally have a voice. People's Party will bring everyone in Suzerain together again. Under the government of the People's Party, Suzerain will prosper again. People of Suzerain have a voice. Pause to take a breath. Hundreds of thousands cheered. I'm honored to be running together with an amazing team. I'd like to take this moment to thank them. Fortunate to have such a great team by my side. Thank you for your contributions to our new party. Grateful to walk this path in life with the amazing Monica Rain, who has supported me through the last 4 years. I must thank Monica for her hard work in leading the campaign to expand the rights of Kurdish women. Thank my family for making me the man I am today. Thank Monica for her hard work in leading the campaign to expand the rights of Kurdish women. Monica walked out on the stage when I said that. The crowd cheered one more time. Most importantly, I thank you for supporting me through these difficult times. My greatest thanks goes out to all of you who came here today. You're the backbone of this campaign. Your noise is shaking the whole country. Okay. I had to pause and wait for the giant wave of applause to subside. 4 years ago, you and I began a journey together. We came together to bring prosperity. Since 1954, swords have been given cliffs to climb and found the tenacity to climb them. Now we can see the valley below. We once protested our corrupt political establishments, and you elected me to fight for you to finally put Suzerain first. Yeah. Given cliffs, with the power you entrusted upon us, my administration fought to serve your interests alone. When I look back, I see achievements that will never be forgotten. Our government showed this nation steady, consistent, and principled leadership with a clear and positive plan. As I promised 4 years ago, I made healthcare the focus of my administration and greatly expanded our services to serve people. When you asked me to fix our healthcare system, I took responsibility and delivered the best results in 4 years' time. We improved rural treatments substantially by hiring health staff and upgrading equipment. Thanks to our policies, Swedish people can now enjoy more accessible and higher quality healthcare. We built new rural schools and increased access to education. We established a minimum wage and expanded rights and legal protection for our workers. We help thousands of Swedish citizens with disabilities. We enacted policies that protect the interests of the Swedish people. I stood in the way of ultra-nationalists, and I crushed every bill that sought to undermine the British people. But one of my decisions was made to serve all those. My term saw a great expansion of women's rights. Swedish women now finally have a voice. The last 4 years, the women in this country won a decades-long fight against patriarchy. I heard the pleas of our women and acted to represent their rights. I enacted laws that protect and liberate women in this great nation. A desegregated our education system which had deep roots in misogyny. Now every sort of student is equal. Yeah, this is a good one. I heard the pleas of our women acted to represent their rights. Dude, this is a banger fucking speech. This is a banger speech. Worked hard to expand the rights of our minorities. I formed a commission for Bluish rights and gave amnesty to all Bluish people prosecuted for their ethnicity. During my term, the minorities of Sutherland saw a great expansion in their political... I guess I'll say, like, specifically. Today, every sort of citizen is entitled to medicine for free. Sort of citizens enjoy more services and liberties than ever before. So if you notice, I'm specifically naming the policies, like the free medicine and stuff, instead of saying, like, oh, you're getting, like, more services and stuff. Because, like, that's the thing that Biden was fucking up throughout his entire term, is that not, like, constantly saying all the accomplishments he did. And Kamala Harris did the same shit too, so. I was cheering President Reign. We integrated Sutherland into international arena now. Sutherland is a member of CSP. New member of CSP will be walking towards the future with more confident steps together with our allies. Sutherland will stand with CSP against Arcasian capitalism. The power of the East, Sutherland will be the dominant force in Eastern Merkaba. I took a look at my supporters. They were now yelling 4 more years. Yo, I got the crowd in my hands. We have made great progress. We are making progress, and there is still a lot more to do. Now it is our task to build a more hopeful Sutherland. Sutherland that is confident in its ability to reach for the heavens. These changing times are full of excitement and opportunity, and here you face a choice. We've made great progress. We are making progress, and there's still more to do. It's our task to build a more hopeful Sutherland, and Sutherland has confidence in its ability to reach for the heaven. Our opponent's policies are dramatically different from ours. They oppose the stability we're trying to bring to Sutherland. Other candidates make no realistic promises. Let them dream while we make things happen. That's why I need your help. Let's build a bold, prosperous, and forward-looking Sutherland. United Sutherland. Audience broke out in applause. Now we have historic goals within our reach. We will keep building a more hopeful Sutherland. Nobody can hold us back. After all these years, we've come too far to abandon the dream. We must keep moving to the future we imagined in 1953. More than 30 years after the Scottish people seized the right to determine their own destiny. Nobody can hold us back. Promise you will remind everyone that the Republic is Sutherland, the greatest nation in the world. We're still all fired up. We are still ready to go. Let us finish what we started. We have been building our dream of Sutherland, the great Scottish dream, and today in this square, that dream is renewed. We'll say we're fired up. Let us finish. Suddenly, I felt a sharp pain in my abdomen. No! No! I got fucking assassinated? No! Growing your beard out? No, I'm just lazy. No fucking way! They took me out? I got back just in time. Time froze. You saw the crowd looking at you in shock. You looked down. Your shirt was stained with blood. You fell into Monica's arms. She screamed while holding your bloodied hands. You felt cold. You heard someone scream. Your vision started fading. A dull pain engulfed your body. You felt weak and tired. You closed your eyes one last time. The end had come. I got assassinated, chat! Son of a bitch! They were fucking scared of me. Damn it. Who did I get assassinated by? Private assets. 1,100 news articles. Wait, I didn't know who I got assassinated by. Wait, who assassinated me? These are the same numbers as before. I'm confused. Who assassinated me? How can I see who assassinated me? It's probably the oligarchs, actually. Let's look it up again, chat. Nationalize both Heart and Sutherland, Burgess Steel, and do not send SSP or ACP on them. Okay. Chief, by making the oligarchs of blood angry enough to assassinate, this will always happen at the final speech prior to the elections. It can be avoided by getting Surge's lucky charm before the reforms are passed in the assembly, or by establishing. Wait, did I not? I thought I got his lucky charm. I had to have gotten the oligarch assassination. Do not free Olivia. Yeah, I had to have gotten the oligarch assassination. Fuck. God damn it. Bernard Circus. Bags Landing and Socialists again. Chat, this is like pretty much where I always end up in the political compass anyway. I love how Peter's fucking dead center. God, that's so hilarious. Dude, I don't understand how Lilius Graf is any kind of leftist. I feel like that's incorrect. Well, that was fun. I did say that I was probably going to get cooed. But I got assassinated on as I was giving. Go back and get the charm. Alright, that's like... It's like 2 chapters ago. I mean, wasn't Nazis leftist? I know you're kidding. I know you're kidding. Deity? Yeah. Wow, so I formed my own party and they were so fucking terrified I was about to win re-election that they assassinated me. Dumb. I'm sorry, I meant socialist. Well, they think so. Socialists are leftists. But yes, the Nazis called themselves socialists because socialist was more popular back then. So they changed the name of their party to the National Socialist Party to trick people into voting for them. Chat, I think I probably got some of the better endings. Dude, that's so crazy because that speech was so fucking fire. That speech was so fire. God damn it. Anyway, chat, I'm going to wrap stream up for the night. I went a little bit longer than I expected. But I got to watch One Piece. I have work tomorrow. So I have work tomorrow. I have 2 rounds on Tuesday. And then 1 round Wednesday and Thursday. But there's a chance that I might be playing with my group on Wednesday. I don't know yet. I'll have to mimic that. Sorry you died. Thanks, Kidda. Kidda, I'm gonna have you do my eulogy. If that ever happens, and I just want you to say, I'm sorry you died. Wait, Sam, I also need to watch One Piece. I'm on Epi 93. Cheeky's catching up to us, kiddo. You got it, boss? Kiddo, what episode are you on? I'm on episode 152. I haven't really had a chance to come watch any since last time. So you're on... I don't remember. You're in the 140s? Okay. So you're probably finishing Jaya. I got past Jaya and I'm about to start Skypiea. But that's all encompassing is Skypiea arc. And apparently, after watching everything and being caught up, the Skypiea arc is probably one of the most important arcs. So I'm looking forward to watching it and paying attention more to this rewatch. There's an island that they're not supposed to be at in the Sky Place. Yeah, Skypiea. It's Skypiea. Hubs fell asleep mid-episode, though. Tell him to stop fucking falling asleep so he can catch up. So I can have conversations with people. Skypiea. Yeah, that's actually exactly how it's spelled, Dish. But I need to send you somewhere, chat. I need to send you somewhere. I'm going to remember. Really? No. No fucking way. No. It's not. I'm fucking with you. I need to send you somewhere. Where shall I send you? You got me. Well, that's because you just believe everything on the internet. He unlocked One Piece as a sleep show once, and now it won't stop happening. God damn it. That son of a bitch. Kitty, you're caught up on the live action, right? Send us to Taco Bell, hungry. No, do you believe everything on the internet? That's right, brother. If it's on the internet, that means it's true. We can send you to Spud. She is 7.5 hours in. All caught up in live action. Okay, I'll have to ask you about the live action then. And see what your thoughts are. Squeaks is playing demos, which looks like a Minecraft game. Michelle's doing food and drink, so I think she's eating. Cinemarxism is doing movie night. Surely my favorite streamers would never lie to me. I would never do that. I will gaslight you, but I won't lie to you. Yeah, I don't know where to send you. Any suggestions? If not, I'm just gonna gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Exactly. Ms. Ms. Who? Ms. Who? Who's Ms? Actually, friend of the stream, Mystic Ether. Okay. Giganos. Okay. We'll do that. I don't think I'm following them yet. But we'll do it, chat. They're doing art, so I'm assuming it's low-key. I'm assuming it's low-key, low-kirk. I don't believe I've been in there before, but it would be a nice art stream where all of y'all that are going to bed shortly can just fall asleep and obviously keep lurking, obviously. But chat, thank you so much for being here. For all the followers that are in the community, congratulations and happy Father's Day. For all of y'all that are not fathers, happy not a Father's Day. But I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I'm happy to get through Suzerain. Stream tomorrow. We are going to watch the America 250 history videos, and we're going to talk about how incorrect they probably are. So this was brought from Spicy Water. That's the plan. But I want to make sure Spicy Water is here for that, because they are very excited for this. So I'm a father to 3 silly kibbles. Thank you. Happy Father's Day to you too, Ghosty. Thank you. Anyway, chat. With that being said, wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good night. See y'all later. Go Birds, fuck Ice, free Palestine, fuck Israel. See ya.